Morning, everybody. We are live. Sorry if you didn't get the update that I was actually, or the alert that I was actually doing this live stream, but it's my fault. I actually set the time from 11:15 p.m. instead of 11:15 a.m. So sorry if you're coming in late, and sorry if you didn't get the notification. But rookie mistake on my part. But the show has to keep on rolling, keep on going. So I'm sure probably a lot of people will join a little bit later, which is cool. But just want to welcome you all to another Sunday live stream here from the great 7 miles white sand beach of Negril. And we do this every Sunday as long as I'm here, no matter what, as long as I'm healthy and as long as I can do it. I enjoy doing it. And this is pretty much our weekly live stream that we do here on the Throb channel. It's a little noisy in the background, so I have the mic a little bit lower than usual. So if you need me to speak up or if you need me to raise the volume of the mic, please let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do so. But right now there is like music coming from over here next door and then music coming from here, and just trying to make the audio quality as best as possible for today's live stream. But as usual, I like to hop right into it. I don't like to dilly dally. We have a little bit of an agenda. Some of the articles that I wanted to get to last Sunday we couldn't get to. I tried to get to them on the Thursday live stream that I did, but we had a guest which went awesome. I do want to go over that. I think it was an amazing discussion, and it seemed like a lot of people really liked the interview that I did with Clarice. She's one of the directors, founders of Black expats and repats in Jamaica. And we had a great discussion on Thursday. And I encourage anybody who didn't see it to go and check it out. I think it was a really fruitful and value driven conversation that we had. And I think it answered, through her experience, through Clarice's experience, answered a lot of questions many people have, and also reservations that many people have about moving to Jamaica or considering moving to Jamaica. And it was a great interview, and I do want to go over some questions that we couldn't answer in the interview because we ran out of time, and I wanted to be respectful of Clarice's time. And we will get to some of those today as we go through the agenda that we have laid out. And of course, please let me know where you're chiming in from. Love hearing from or knowing where you are from all around the world. And I think it kind of brings us a little bit closer together, with all of us having this centralized interest on Jamaica and the future of Jamaica, and living here and being here, investing in Jamaica as well. And it's kind of cool to hear where everybody is from. So please, in the comment section, let me know where you're from, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it on the replay. I do go back and read all the comments on the replay. So, and I try to respond to all of them as well. So please comment and let me know where you're from. I'm going to hop over to the comments now. Buenos dias, Mai. Thank you for joining. Vinci, welcome. Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you. Peter, great to see you. Long time. Thanks for chiming in from Canada. Hello, Donna. Nice to see you. Nice to see you on here. Let me throw the picture on so you can also see me. Thank you for chiming in. Lovely weather here in Ottawa. Great to hear. I'm always usually hearing it's gray and that sort of thing. So happy to hear you're having a nice day. We're having a very beautiful day here as well, as you can see. Suzette, hello. Thank you for chiming in. Yes, happy Sunday to you as well, Donna. Creative, good to see you, man. You're always chiming in and hopping on these things. Appreciate you being here. Lorraine from Long Island, my hometown. Baldwin, Freeport, that is. Country gal from Boston. Thanks for chiming in. Blooming Rose from North Texas. Welcome. I've yet to go to Texas. I got to get there someday. I will let you all know when I do make it there. Wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining. Mai from Montreal. Thanks for joining. Love Montreal. Love, love, love Montreal. I don't know when I'm going to get back there, but I do love going there. Okay. You know what? Before we get into, actually, there's actually somebody who asked me a question before about investing in Jamaica. Chris, I don't know if you're here yet. But if you are, let me know. I'm going to kind of save this question for a little bit later, and hopefully he's able to join because he's asked me this question twice about capital gains in Jamaica. And I haven't been able to get the answer, but I have the answer today, and I wanted to make sure I share it when he's in the chat. So he said he would be joining us today. And again, I didn't, unfortunately, there was no alerts that went out for this live stream because I messed up with the time. So some people might be missing it or are coming in late. So going to give Chris a little bit before I answer his question. Peter says, it's a question. Great day in Toronto, and planes are landing at Pearson International every 20 minutes. Oh, that's good to know. That's great to know. Thank you for that, Peter HB. Happy Sunday to you as well. So let's get over to, all right. So let's get over to some updates. There are some other articles from last week that I want to get into as well that we missed. And I wanted to, we'll get to that afterwards. So let's do the new stuff first, and then we'll get into the old stuff. So I guess the first thing is like, hey, we actually, I don't know if many people know this, but we've been kind of fighting for this here in Negril, I should say. We've been fighting for this fruit and vegetable market for, man, I want to say close to a decade. We're not quite there yet, but not quite 10 years, I would say, at least from my memory, to get a fruit and vegetable market downtown. So if you're familiar with Negril, we have one, but it's up a very terrible road. And if you know where I'm talking, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's very small, super, super antiquated, to be honest, and just the bare minimum, bare basic. But that's where people go to buy their fruit and veg officially in Negril. And it's worked for many years, but I think we need more than that. And the community feels like we need more than that. But anyway, finally, over the last few weeks, they actually started on the construction of the fruit and vegetable market in Negril. And this has been, the money for this has been earmarked for years. I mean, like I said, I want to say probably close to 10 years, maybe even more. Like it was like literally put aside, but there was no action taken on it. And it's finally happening. You see them doing construction on it. And I think that is really going to change the makeup of like how, like, and when I say the makeup, really how people move in Negril. And if there's an official place to buy fresh fruits and vegetables that you can go every single day, I mean, that's going to be amazing. I think that's going to be great for vendors, not just the fruit vendors that are on the beach here, but I think for people who live here as well and who want to buy fruits and want to buy vegetables, and there'll be a central location that is modern and is well designed ergonomically for the sellers, but then also from an efficiency standpoint, if I'm me, the consumer, is like going there, like I'm going to assume that it's going to be designed in a way for me to easily maneuver and get around. And to me, in my mind, that's more sales for the vendors and the fruit and vegetable sellers who are going to be there. And then it's also centralized, and I'm going to assume it's going to have parking and it's going to be easy access and that sort of thing. The current one that we have right now, again, it's up a very, very rocky, unpaved road, and it's kind of just annoying to get to, but we go because that's what it is. And of course we want to support everybody there. And so just exciting. And this article, I actually figured out how to share my screen, so let's do that. We are going to share this screen. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is the article. Can we see that? Okay, yeah, you can see that. So this was in the Gleaner, and it came out on Friday. Work commences on long-awaited market in Negril. And in the picture, you see local government Minister Desmond McKenzie gestures during a tour of the site for the market to be constructed in Negril, Westmoreland on August 26, 2022. Photo by Hopton Buckner. After years of delay, and let me throw it in the sorry, I'm going to throw it in the comments as well. So if you want to read for yourself, you can do that. After years of delay, work has commenced on the long-awaited Negril fruit and vegetable market in Westmoreland. The site is now seeing land preparation works. This is a new step to bringing the much-needed market to fruition as disagreements over the years between Ministry of Local Government and Westmoreland Municipal Corporation stalled the project. During a tour of the site this morning, local government minister Desmond McKenzie said he is pleased that the project has turned the corner. The process of relocation work is at an advanced stage. The bathrooms and the toilets are going to be put in, and the vendors have been given notice. I think after discussion with the mayor and the CEO of the Westmoreland municipality, we extended the notice that was given to the vendors, McKenzie said. He gave commendation to the Savlamar Mayor Bertle Moore and Westmoreland Western Member of Parliament Westmoreland Wilson, who he said paved the way to get the market project off the ground. McKenzie pointed out that once the relocation of vendors is completed, the relevant government agencies will come in as part of the approval process to get construction going. Noting that the market had an original estimated cost of $75 million back in 2016. McKenzie said it is expected that the price tag will go up. And so the vendors that they're referring to are the food and vegetable market is like almost like it's adjacent to the new one, that is, it's adjacent to the transportation station. I don't know if you want to call it that, but it's like right next to that, and there are vendors who've been vending there for long periods of time, and I believe some of them are illegal, some of them are legal, but they've been vending there and had their stores there for quite some time. So that was a big controversy, like where are these people going to go, where they're going to relocate them. So it seems like they have figured that out, and they're going to be moving them so they can really ramp up construction for this the fruit and vegetable market that they have there. And then, they're going to have a bathroom and everything like that, which makes perfect sense. So that's kind of exciting. That's exciting for me as a Negriliite or Negrilian. I don't know what you call us, but that's definitely something that we're very much looking forward to. All right. Let me know if you have any questions on the fruit and vegetable market and or that article, or any concerns. Are you excited for it? The people here who love Negril, are you looking forward to it? That sort of thing. So just let me know. I'm just sharing the stream here. Let me just do that quickly. All right, and we are back. Okay, back to the agenda. Let me hop over to the comments real quick and see if I missed anybody. Lorraine, Rockville Center, Roosevelt, would love to link sometime. Sure, I'm in Long Island. Like, I try to get to Long Island every time I get back to New York. That's where all my childhood friends are. Most of them moved there. I moved back there. A lot of them lived in the city for a little bit after college, and then they've moved back to start their families and buy their first houses, that sort of thing. So there all the time. Rockville Center was definitely my backyard, being right next to Baldwin. So we used to go there all the time in high school. They had 2 movie theaters. I'm not sure if that's still there, but restaurants, blah, blah, blah. So Long Island talk here. So it would be great to link sometime, Lorraine. Peter asked, who's the Canada agent for travelers? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could give me some clarification on that question. I think that's what you're asking, Peter. Oh, and thank you for the congrats on the food and vegetable market. Tisha Petite says, loving that view. Was actually scheduled to visit Negril and Travelers next month, but plans changed, so maybe sometime next year. Yep, will be great to see you. Hope plans for the better. Well, I don't know if it could be better, but hopefully it's positive plan change. But yeah, we'd love to see you next time you're able to make it out here. Peter says, what about the legal ganja market? Westmoreland has been a historic supplier. Will fresh fruit and fresh vegetable market integrate that as tourists could buy from those many farmers who are suffering? As far as I know, there's no plans for that. And I'm trying to think. There is, and like, so I'll bring some context to this. So, as what Peter is saying here is that the is the ganja in Jamaica has been decriminalized, and you can actually start businesses, and there's various licenses that you can get. I haven't really read the paperwork on this in a while, but just bear with me. You can get a retail license, you can get a distribution, uh, research and development license, distribution license, transportation license, and there's like 5 of them. I'm forgetting one. In Negril, we have, as far as I know, 2 official dispensaries. There's one on the west end, and then there's one on the beach road. There is only one hotel in Negril, and maybe even Jamaica, maybe the Caribbean, maybe the world, I don't know, that has a legalized weed dispensary in that hotel. Maybe not the world, but definitely Jamaica, and maybe even the Caribbean. And that is hedonism. So they're very prideful about that. Hedo Weedo, that's the name of their retail location. And you don't have to, and I'm not plugging them, I just think it's a claim to fame that we should be promoting here in Negril. But you don't have to be a guest of hedonism to actually go there and purchase whatever marijuana products that you want. So that's the only hotel that I'm aware of that has actually taken advantage of that license. And if that's something that you're interested in, that's a place that you can go. But as far as the integration, Peter, as you are suggesting with the fruit and vegetable market, I haven't heard that. I do know that it's very highly regulated, and it's not that straightforward. I mean, it's straightforward, but it's bureaucratic. Just put it that way. It's very bureaucratic to get your license, and you got to make sure your paperwork is correct. And I'm not in it, obviously, but I'm kind of okay that Jamaica has been taking its time with the legal process. And one of the main stipulations, if you are starting up business and going after one of those licenses, that it has to be the company that it's licensed under has to be I believe 50 or 51% owned by a Jamaican. So I think that's really, really awesome. Just as Peter's alluding to, the farmers who are suffering, who have been in the ganja business for many years, and they should not be left out of this process and this opportunity. And I believe, and like, and I'm not in it, again, this is kind of the way I read it from outside looking in. It seems that there is a lot of consideration for those people and for those individuals. So sorry, I don't have a direct answer for you on that, Peter. But I would assume that would be not impossible, but that would be hard to do, for somebody to do that, and they'd have to get the proper licensing. And yeah, could definitely be. That's an idea. That's definitely an idea. Thank you for that. Out of many, we are one. Thank you for joining. Happy Sunday to you as well. HB says, surprise. One was not there before. Happy for the community. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Like I said, it's there, but it's not. I mean, again, if you're here in Negril, you know what it looks like. But it's there. It's effective. That's the only one that we have had for the existence of Negril. But it's exciting that we're going to be getting a new one, up to date one, professional one. Jamaica Uncut. Good to see you, man. When is the market projected to be completed? I am not sure. A great question. I try to find out and circle back and let everybody know when the projected date is for that. Great question, though. Hi, Rachel. Favorite place on earth? Right. Thank you for joining. Always nice to see you. Oh, Peter. Okay, going back to Peter's previous question about who's in charge of Canada travel to Jamaica to travelers. I'm sorry. Yes, it is only Travelocity does booking. Gotcha. Veronica Take, High Throp, and everyone. Tampa in the house. Good to see you. A lot of Floridians. Hi, Carla. Thanks for chiming in. Excuse me. All right. Peter wants to make it clear he does not smoke anything. It's business. That's what they all say. Not just kidding. All right. Let's move on to the next article. Okay, cool. So, still trying to navigate this whole share screen thing. All right. Why isn't it? There we go. Okay. Nope. See, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. It's the best we got right there. Okay. Next article. So this one was from last week. I was supposed to do the new ones first. Anyway, I'm getting it confused. So this one was from last week, August 20th. Tourism driving Jamaica's post-pandemic recovery. And let me go ahead and throw this in the chat here. If you want to read along, you can do that. It's in the comments section. And it reads Kingston, Jamaica, CMC tourism minister. And this is on the Jamaican Observer. And it was written by, where is, I don't know. I'm not seeing the author here. Sorry, I'm not seeing the author. Trying to give credit. But Jamaican Observer Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the performance of the tourism sector, as outlined in the latest report by the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, highlights the fact that tourism is driving the island's post-COVID economic recovery. Bartlett was speaking earlier this week as he welcomed the PIOJ's report, which indicates that the tourism sector has contributed significantly to the country's economic growth in the second quarter of the year. In its report, the PIOJ announced that the economy grew by 5.7% during the April to June quarter of 2022 compared with the same period in 2021, with tourism and hospitality sector contributing substantially. The PIOJ reported that the real value added for hotels and restaurants grew by an estimated 55.4%, reflecting a sharp increase in visitors' arrival from all main source markets, and that for April to May 2022, total foreign national arrivals was 399,310 visitors, representing an increase of 110% relative to the corresponding period in 2021. According to Bartlett, the figures from the PIOJ highlight the fact that the tourism industry is driving Jamaica's post-COVID-19 economic recovery, adding that the results are a clear indication of the resilience of the sector, which is rebounding steadily. As he embraced the news, Bartlett met with representatives of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourism Association, and other industry stakeholders, including members of the Tourism Recovery Task Force, on Friday for a mid-year review of the sector. It was also stated that visitor spend is currently outpacing 2019 levels. According to Jamaica Tourist Board figures, length of stay is back to 2019 levels of 7.9 nights, and more importantly, average spend per visitor has increased from $168 per night to $182 per night per person per night. Excuse me. This simply means that the tourism sector is generating more foreign exchange per visitor, so there is more money circulating in the wider economy, and this benefits various players in the industry, such as attractions, the transportation subsector, and artisans, thereby creating greater economic impact, the tourism minister said. During the meeting, it was highlighted that since reopening in June 2020, Jamaica has welcomed over 3.5 million visitors as of July 2022. Likewise, year to date, the island has welcomed over 1.7 million visitors, an increase of 139.4% over the same period in 2021. There was also an estimated increase of 10% in visitor arrivals for June 2022 compared to the same period in 2019. With increased arrivals month over month, Bartlett said, we remain optimistic that our performance figures will return to 2019 pre-COVID record levels by 2023. So that is a pretty positive article, I would say, in terms of the economic recovery and where we are. Oh, okay. I'm back. I'm not sure what happened. Just cut out for a second. Might have been the internet. Not sure. But we're back. But yeah, back to the article. Now we'll lose it. Internet. We can do. All right, right. We're back. Hopefully it stabilizes in a little bit. I got my phone just in case we can hop on over there. But with the article, it's great news about the economy, and I can tell you from our stake here, our perspective here, travelers, it's been a really steady summer. Usually, you get dips and dews kind of thing in terms of occupancy levels, but this summer has been pretty steady, I would say, in terms of occupancy levels and obviously doing prime weekends like Dream Weekend, and that week we did well as well. And I think the whole of Negril did well. And talking to other hoteliers, as a matter of fact, that kind of seems to be the story, of the summer, so to speak. And when I say the summer, I'm going to include late spring into that as well. It's been again pretty steady going, which is amazing. And we're hoping that we can kind of roll right into the winter season with this momentum. And not just saying us as a hotel, but also as the Negro community, as a tourism community, and we keep this going. But obviously, there's a lot of things happening globally that could derail everything. And we were talking, I believe, last week about the nightmares of flights. And that's something that I can see being like a huge, huge problem. My older brother, left to go back to England. Today's Sunday. He left on Friday. I think he got back today, if I'm not mistaken. Like, no exaggeration. Just madness. And even him getting here was madness. Just a lot of canceled flights, rebookings, and it took him 2 days to get back home, which is kind of ridiculous. And his flight pattern was supposed to be from Jamaica to Newark to Heathrow, and he something happened. Did his flight get canceled or something? I'm not sure, but they had to stay overnight in Newark. They canceled the flight. That's what it was. Something with the plane. They canceled the flight, so they overnighted in Newark, and then next morning they got up, flew from Newark to DC. This is yesterday. So yesterday morning they flew from Newark to DC. Had to wait all day in DC for a 10 p.m. flight from DC to Heathrow. And then coming here, he had. I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just trying to keep it real and tell you what it is. But coming here, he had his initial flight got canceled, and he had to fly from Heathrow to Cologne, Germany to DC to Jamaica. But this seems to be almost like what the norm is right now. Had another friend went to our brother's wedding. I think we talked about this on Thursday. Went to our brother's wedding last weekend, and she was stuck in Denver for 2 days because her flight got canceled and couldn't get a flight back to New York. And this is like, you're hearing this more and more, but from what I'm understanding, my source is the New York Times. That's it. Listen to a podcast that they did last week, and they wrote an article on it talking about the summer nightmare that has been for air travel, and a lot of it has to do with having short staff on many of these airlines, and so they are predicting that things will ease up during the fall, at least for American travel. I think they're speaking about American air travel specifically. So I'm hoping that that's the case, and I know a lot of people are trying to come here for the winter, but especially for those, we're just coming out the pandemic and everything like that. Those who haven't traveled in a while, just kind of be prepared that may be a situation where your flight is going to be canceled, your flight is going to be delayed. So just exercise extreme patience when it comes to traveling at this point, and also just kind of keep up with everything. Because with my brother, he actually just checked his email and found out like his flight was canceled like a few weeks before the flight, and it wasn't like something he was expecting or looking for. So just kind of keep up with everything, and also a little concerned with European travel as well, are like coming here, because for my brother to come here is he really wanted to be here. That's why he did all that. And I think, and you hate to put these barriers in front of people who want to come here, and maybe they don't have like such a strong affiliation to come to Jamaica and to be here, come see family, vacation, etc. And so they might be like, forget it. Instead of going from Heathrow to Jamaica, they'll go to like Spain, or they'll go to Greece because it's closer and maybe a little bit easier, or maybe they'll do a road trip instead. So these kind of things, like, I think about in terms of the thought processes of people who will be traveling in the future, and how it could hinder the future travel in tourism for Jamaica. But a lot of that we don't have much control over, but just kind of keeping fingers crossed as we move forward, as the article said, that has tourism has been a driving factor of the recovery of the Jamaican economy, and we want to do everything that we can in the tourism sector to really drive this momentum and have things go in our favor. So I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me that British Airways are canceling direct flights starting in November to Jamaica. I hope that's not true. That's going to be really, really tough if everybody has to, take multiple stops to Jamaica from the UK instead of getting direct flights. I hope an air carrier picks that leg up, because I think they would do really well. But this is what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's hop over to the comments here. Gary Austin, thank you so much for the donation. Just discover your channel. Love your work. Appreciate it so much, man. Thank you for the donation. These little tidbits, they go a long way. Trust me. Shayna Love Coaching says, hello, beautiful people. Hello, Shayna. Always nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Tony Mack says, hello, Throp Live family. I pray all is well. Thank you, man. It could be woman. Thank you. I'm not sure. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you joining. Thanks for being here on this beautiful Sunday here in Negril, Jamaica. Lopez says, a market for reggae music promotion, the little cottage in Negril, a music industry gold mine. So good point you're bringing up here, Peter. So they're actually looking to find a permanent entertainment zone, if you will, here in Negril. And I'm not sure if people are aware of the politics of entertainment music versus hoteliers and tourism here in Negril, but it's in the past it's been a great subject of contention, because you have music promoters that will, say, rent out a venue that is right adjacent to, say, a hotel. Some of them are 5-star hotels, 4-star hotels, and those guests may not necessarily be going to that music event, and those, the loud sound, the music, DJ screaming on the mic, and those guests are trying to get some sleep, and these things go 2 to 4, sometimes 2 in the morning, sometimes 4 in the morning, sometimes till sunrise. And the whole thing is, and this has been the discussion and in over the years, is this: how do we find this balance in Negril between entertainment, which is very desperately needed, because a lot of people come here for reggae music, they come here to party, they come here to have a good time, and then how do you balance that with those people who come here to vacation and like their early mornings and like coming out on the beach early and sunbathing and getting their breakfast, and they deserve and have a right to a good night's sleep, just like any of us do. And so over the years, we've been trying to find that balance, because how Negril is set up is like, of course, everybody wants to throw a party on the beach, because there are select few places in the world that you can do that. And I'm sure many people, where they're coming from and vacationing from, coming to here in Negril, they don't have access to a beach. They don't have, or maybe they have seldom access to a beach party. And of course, why wouldn't they want to party here on the beach? And over the years, it's been hard to find that balance. However, I would say in the last few years, even before COVID, there was a semblance of understanding between the two parties of hoteliers and of promoters and entertainers. And I believe we were getting to that point, and we continue to do that, to move in that direction. And I heard Minister Grange, she was talking about finding a location in Negril to do just that. And I think that that's probably one of the best ideas is finding an area where it's not going to disturb the residents of Negril who need to get up and go to work, whether they are a business owner or they work at the bank or they work at Burger King or they have to come on the beach to sell their wares and they have to get a good night's sleep, but it won't disturb those people. But then the people who come here to party and have a good time and want to stay up until all hours of the morning, that they can do that as well and have high quality entertainment without the worry of it being shut down by the police. And I know this is a concern for the promoters as well because they invest this money into promoting the event. They invest this money into, the sound, the DJ, the drinks, et cetera, all the things that we know that it takes to put on a party. And they're doing it. And if they can know that, hey, it won't, the likelihood of being shut down because of noise pollution or because of the police is low or maybe non-existent because there's a specific area cordoned off for that. I mean, it's all the better. You can plan with a lot more ease and you can plan with a lot more confidence. So that's kind of what's on the horizon from what I understand. And hopefully that is coming relatively soon. I don't know. It's I've heard about it for a little bit of time here. But good point, Peter. Great point. Let's see a few more comments here. Byron Stewart says, "Good afternoon. Checking in from Baltimore. The weather is perfect today." I'm hearing that from a few people. Awesome. Justin, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. I hope all is well with you. Welcome. Great to see you here. Donna Bryce says British Airways cutting 10,000 flights across their network. Okay, so maybe that is true. Maybe they are cutting the direct Heathrow to Montego Bay leg. That's rough. Oh man, 10,000 flights. That's a ton. And I understand like that article the New York Times put out. It was just talking about the lead time that it takes to train flight attendants, to train, a pilot. I don't even know how long that takes. And I know they're short pilots as well. And so all these things will take time to ramp up the human resources because what they also did from this article is during the pandemic, they retired many flight, airline industry workers. They retired a lot of pilots. They retired a lot of longstanding flight attendants. And I mean, who would have known we would have came out this quick? But come on, should have planned a little bit better for it at this point. But it's. I mean, that's rough for me to say. I don't have no idea what they're. Have somewhat an idea what they're going through, but nonetheless, man, we got to get this right soon, hopefully. But thank you for that info, Donna. Jermaine Jackson says, "Hello, everyone. Big up, Throp. Hello. Thank you for chiming in." Pete V says, "Weather is beautiful there. It is indeed. Out of many, we are one." Says, "Great conversation. Thank you." Claudia Sim says, "Orlando, Florida. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I will do my best." Pete V says, "Yeah, it brings in money and people. Excuse me. But that also brings in other kinds of attention." I'm assuming you're talking about tourism, Pete V. Let me know if I have that correct. Shayna Love Coaching says, "Question, is there a co-working space in the Negril area? I think that would be a great business venture." I think that is an amazing idea, Shayna. I think it's something that I thought about for a while back, I should say, pre-COVID. But I think that is an amazing idea. And I think that if anybody wants to take it and run with it, or maybe they want to partner with it, maybe with Shayna, maybe they want to partner with myself, but I think that would do exceptionally well in Negril because there isn't a centralized location that if you are, say, a digital nomad, that you can go and rent a desk or a cubicle or a small office space to do meetings or whatever. We don't have that in Negril. There are co-working spaces that I know of in Kingston. Kingston Creative is one of them. That's actually where, like, when I'm in Kingston doing business, if I'm there for a few days, that's where I will go to do work. And I think it's a little bit better. There's coffee shops and stuff like that. There's restaurant decks like here at Travelers. You can do that too. A lot of people do work from home right here, but I think at least I love having options when I'm going to a new space, a new city to do work, especially if you want to do meetings. And I think even from even somebody who's not visiting, I think from a local perspective, say like if me and my team wanted to go somewhere and get off property and have a powwow, or maybe want to do our weekly meeting somewhere else, I would do that. I would rent that space. And I think other properties and other business owners would take advantage of that as well. And I think that is a phenomenal idea. You can do desk. I already laid them out. I won't go over it again, but I think that could do really, really well, Shayna. I think that would be a great, great idea because that again is non-existent here in Negril. Justin D says, "Sorry, man, work keep me busy. Totally understand. We're here, whenever you have time, of course. But I know you always support the channel and support what we're doing here, so I appreciate it. I appreciate it." Miss Jones, High Throp Beach looks awesome. Can't wait to get there. Checking in from Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome. Thank you, Miss Jones, for being here. Appreciate your time. Shayna Love Coaching says, great work for, sorry, my eyes play tricks on me here sometimes. Great for workations, business hub, and can build other services, including the co-work space. Absolutely. And it also kind of, what would I say? It kind of changes the landscape of Negril by doing that, or any community that a co-working space goes to, because you can do so many things. And I see Kingston Creative doing this a lot. They do a lot of co-working events, and so it'll be a great place to network. It'll be a great place to push entrepreneurship and kind of maybe even put like people together. So if there is a partnership that is needed, you have a creative person, and then you have like a accounting business person, and they need each other's help, and they kind of balance each other out. That also happens. So there could be serendipitous relationships that start from that. And I think it would do a lot for the community. So I think that's a wonderful idea, Shayna. HB says airline companies laid off staff because they did not want to be vaccinated. That too, that did happen. I do remember that. I do remember that. Jay Chill out of Tampa. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I will. Thanks for joining. Julia for Justice. Hello. Blessings from Canada. Good to see you. Yeah, I saw the dogs. I saw the dogs as well. I was waiting for somebody to comment on that. Jermaine Jackson says the noise pollution around the hotels is a unique challenge. I have a condo in Ochi, and I find it convenient at times and very annoying at other times. Yeah, no, it's been, like I said, it's been a huge battle here. And it's like I said, it's a very tough situation here in Negril because of how things are laid out. You have, like, everybody wants to be on the beach, and there are, what would I say, club venues, if you will, like right next to hotels. There are open fields that are used for party and concert venues right next to hotels, and this is like, man, that could be really, really tough. We're here on the south end of the beach, where Travelers is. So most of the party venues, I would say, is almost like right in the middle of the beach, and we're pretty lucky that we don't have that to contend with. Sometimes, like one time we had, like downtown, they had like one of the Dream Weekend parties, but that really didn't disturb us that much because most of the guests that we had here were actually participants of Dream Weekend, and it's so far down that you kind of really only got a little bit of the bass noise. So we're very lucky with that. And our neighbors here, they're not party venues. They're really like focused on traditional tourism as well. So we're lucky to have good neighbors in that respect as well. So yeah, it's a tough situation, and there are rules and laws through the Noise Abatement Act that unfortunately get broken. quite a lot. But like I said, I believe we're moving in the right direction as a Negril community, and I think more than ever we're on the same page with promoters, art musicians, and that sort of thing, versus are together with, I should say, at this point, with the hotel and tourism industry. Jesse noticed the pack of dogs as well. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the questions. Just seen a pack of dogs roll by. What do you say or do if they come in your personal space? I mean, if you're not a dog person, they're more than likely not gonna kind of come up to you, and they'll probably just walk by. If you shoot them, they'll probably walk away. Our security guard would, if you didn't want them, would kindly escort them away from you. But there are many of our guests who are dog lovers and are even just plain animal lovers that would pet them and kind of hang out with them all day and feed them too, which I don't necessarily encourage. But even though I love dogs, but yeah, that's kind of to each his own. We don't have any rules as it relates to that. So hopefully it doesn't bother you too much, Jesse, if you don't like dogs or don't want them near you or anything like that, which is completely understandable. Purple Royal, lovely beach. It is indeed. It is indeed. So let's move on to the next article. Justin says, dogs don't trouble no one. I agree. Yeah, they're not gonna, if you're afraid of them biting you or attacking you, that doesn't happen. At least not on the beach. I have been, I have been attacked on my early morning runs. I'll be real about that. These dogs, but it's on the street. I run on the street, and it there's just one part of the shared user path. Again, I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that. But you're not going to get up. Most people aren't going to get up and run at 5 a.m. and find themselves being chased by a pack of dogs. And it's only that time of the morning. I don't know why, but say like I'll run by them at dawn, and I guess it's just been a quiet night or whatever, and they'll start barking at me or they chase me. I'll bark back. That's kind of my defense mechanism. It works sometimes, and sometimes they do chase me. But then I'll see the same dog or the same pack of dogs, say either on my way back or maybe the next week I'll go out a little bit later and the sun is out, and they'll be perfectly fine. I don't know what the heck. I don't know what the heck that is. I guess it's just that time of day and it's dark. But that's the only time like I get attacked or chased, if you will, whereas I kind of got used to at this point. Like I know the exact spot that it happens at. So that's the only time. But for the most part, they're not going to bother you. Again, you're not going to be running for them to chase you. You'll be perfectly okay. These dogs here on the beach, they're beach dogs, and they don't bother anybody, like Justin says. Hi, Camille. Thanks for joining. Says just chiming in. The beach is looking gorgeous today. It is. It is a beautiful day. I see some rain clouds. Let's not jinx it. We started early today because of that concern, because it's been like crazy rain, like really, really like hurricane hard rain, like every day. And it'll come down real heavy, then it'll stop, and thunder and lightning. But it's been kind of intense the last few days for whatever reason. And apparently, I just read an article that it's going to be kind of intensify in the middle of the week, which I don't know how much more you can intensify than what we're already getting. Channel of Coaching says, how would you describe the art/cultural scene in Negril? So, good question, Shayna. I'd say we have a craft market downtown, so we have the Negril Craft Market, and that too, and put in the same category as a fruit and vegetable market. And we kind of forgot about this as a community. Maybe we didn't forget, but maybe it's kind of just been pushed to the back of our minds a little bit. But there has been money earmarked for the upgrading of the craft market downtown, and so it's in the same exact category as the fruit and vegetable market that we have now. It's old, it's dated, and it needs to be upgraded, and it's supposed to be. And I don't know. And thank you for bringing that up, Shayna. Maybe we need to revisit that, and maybe I need to talk to the chamber or bring it up to the Chamber of Commerce and I'm sure that they would, hey, like, hey, remember, yeah, we got this money that's supposed to be done to be allocated for construction for the craft market. But right now, there is great craftsmanship in Jamaica, as you know. I don't know if you know this, but like people in the audience know this, but there is Jamaicans are very talented when it comes to wood carvings, like extremely talented. I know there's a lot of extremely talented people here on the Negril beach that they sell their arts here, but the main place to do it is downtown and at the craft market. But it needs upgrading, you know, and there's money allocated for it, and we need to really start pushing for this. And the art, to answer your question directly, the arts and culture scene, it's very segmented at this point, and I feel like it shouldn't be. And I feel like, as the saying goes, there's power in numbers, and I think that if this were kind of put into one place, us as hotels would send guests down there more normally. Our guests down there, like, we send our guests there anyway because it's so close, and our guests naturally walk down there. They're like, hey, where can we get wood carvings, or where can we get traditional Jamaican gifts, souvenirs to bring back home? And they always walk downtown to the craft market downtown. And so, you know, a lot of our guests go there, but I know a lot of other hotels that are further away would actually do bus tours there if it was a little bit more presentable, and it should be, and they have a right to be. It has a right to be more presentable. And again, I think we just need to maybe bring this back up. And it just kind of goes to show that we understand this as a community and we know about it. We just need to, at this point, kind of bring it up again. I think that we just kind of forgot because there's so many things going on and we're pushing for so many things in the community. But great point, Shayna. Great question. Thank you for that. And Shayna is laughing at me for being chased by dogs, but that's okay. That's okay. It happens. It's just one of those things as a runner. At some point, you're going to be chased by dogs. Like it's just, at least in Jamaica, I would say I have not met a runner in Jamaica that has not been chased by dogs. Period. And again, I think it's just because we just get up early in the morning and we're like the first thing these dogs see, and it's still probably dark, and it just happens. Part of the gig, I guess, at the end of the day. Julia for Justice says, I support Montego Bay Animal Haven. Tammy runs the place. She is awesome. I was actually supposed to reach out to them. As you say that, supposed to reach out to them a few months ago, but that a lot of crazy things happened during that time. And at some point that I will, because Simone from 876 Volunteer, she's the one who gave me their contact information. And at some point we will do some collaboration. I understand they do amazing work there. So thank you for bringing that up, Julia for Justice. CTS video says, excuse me, what would a long-term stay 3 to 6 months cost at Travelers? Good question. So I'm not going to answer directly. Because I don't have the numbers, the pricing off the top of my head. So I will say we do have pricing for long-term stays, and you can, let me put the number. If you are interested, you can WhatsApp. I'm going to put this number here. So I'm going to throw the number in the chat. You can WhatsApp them. You can either do a text or you can call them directly, and they can answer your question directly. Make sure I got it right. So the number is, so if you're just listening, is 876-840, excuse me, 876-841-1062. So if you wanted to find out more information on stays here at Travelers, and if you're looking for a long-term stay like CTS Video is, you can WhatsApp them or call them at 876, I should say 1-876-841-1062. And I also put it in the chat there if you are interested in that. I actually have a friend. He's supposed to send me the information, but I would also recommend that if you are looking to stay long term, two plugs. And if you're interested, shoot me an email, drop@media.com. But I have a friend that has an Airbnb on the West End. If you know Westland Mountain here in Negril, I think it's about 7-minute drive from here to get to where his place is. Let's call it 10 minutes for argument, just for our purposes here. 10 minutes away from the beach. It's right here in Negril. If these trees weren't in the way, I could probably look at it from here. And you, I forget what he's charging. Don't quote me on this. I'm gonna try to give it to you in US. So I think it was $1,000 a month. Just and if I need to recorrect, I'll recorrect. But it's $1,000 a month, 2-bedroom apartment, Westland Mountain, and it's newly furnished, newly decorated, and everything like that. I'm sorry I don't have the link, but if you're rewatching this and you don't if you're rewatching this and you are interested, and you just comment, and I'll respond in the comment with the actual place, and you can check out the link. It's on Airbnb, and I think he's on Booking as well, and that just kind of give you an idea of a monthly rent. But I feel like that's a bit of a steal in the sense that it's kind of new construction, newly designed, and new appliances, everything like that. 2-bedroom, which I think is pretty decent for Negril. So that's $1,000 that kind of gives you an idea. My brother also has an apartment at Point Village, which is, if we're looking at the on the screen here, where the island is, literally right across the island is Point Village. Like, that is, I would say, on the dot. You're looking at about just under 4.5 miles. I know this because I've ran to that point and I ran back. So you're looking at just under 4.5 miles to that point. And his is going for, man, hold on. Let me do the conversion real quick. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm doing it per night. So I think don't quote me on this, please. I'm just trying to bring context here. I think it's $100, about $100 a night. I don't know if Winfield's in here. If anybody's saying Winfield, if you're in the chat, please correct me if I have that wrong. But I'm sure he would get do a long-term deal with you as well if you wanted it. If you're interested, let me know on any of those places. If you're looking for a long-term stay, I would consider a long-term stay 30 days or more, and I'm sure either of those locations would be willing to give you a deal on those nightly rates. So that's some context for you. CTS video. I hope that helps a little bit. Jesse Millen says, just seen an article where they attacked an old lady, mauled her to get there in JA. Yep. There was actually a stint where that was happening quite regularly that we saw in the news. I believe they had even one time a little boy. It's a different part of Jamaica, but definitely need to, if you have an aggressive dog, you need to control them, just like anywhere in the world. But yeah, I heard about that story. That's really, really sad. Smiley Jar says, not like the dingoes in Australia. Haven't seen I've been to Australia as an adult once, but didn't meet any dingoes. Smiley Jar says, craft market just a few steps from Travelers. That's right. Julia for Justice says, loved craft markets in Jamaica. Yeah, me too. I do as well. Inga Baby 51 says, happy Sunday from Orlando. Throb. Happy Sunday to you as well, Ingrid. Nice to see you. Jay Chill says, curious if anyone knows if any movement on the nonstop flights to and from Jamaica to Africa. Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't heard heard anything else. Nigeria to Montego Bay, I believe it was. If anybody knows any updates on that, please let me know. Jack Ryan, the nightlife in Negril is not what it should be. Do you agree? Jack Ryan, what do you mean? What do you mean by should be, Jack? I would say that there is tremendous potential for the nightlife here in Negril. I do believe we need more indoor venues. Right now, the only like when I'm nightlife, I'm equating to clubs, slash lounges, but the only indoor place that I know of that would fit that description would be Jungle. That's about it. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. There's Margaritaville, which is I don't even know if they still do the nighttime thing. They might, but that's probably the most popular daytime party scene in Negril is Margaritaville. And then you have it's I kind of put Italian cafe in that, but it's open air and they do things like on a nightly basis. But that's more chill, loungy. I like, and that's kind of like my age at least. That's kind of like the max I would go at. Like I'm not gonna go out there and do fist pumping and raving or anything like that right now. But that's kind of that vibe at Italian Cafe, and you could kind of get that on almost like on a regular nightly basis. That's Kenny's Italian Cafe, which is like probably one of the cooler chiller spots that's popular. Matthews is another place like that. It's a new place at the Boardwalk Plaza. Um, Again, definitely not a club, but more chill bar type vibe. Pretty cool and fun. I haven't been there in a while, but good place to do some mild socializing, drinking, chill drinking, and that sort of thing. But that's kind of it. That's kind of it. There's no other club like club than Jungle. That's the only place that I would call a club in the grill. So I always say competition is good. I think the Negril has a lot of room for another club. The Wildsters probably don't want me saying that, but it just kind of like thinking about the community aspect of it and thinking about the options that people have. I think that's a great thing to have multiple options. Just like I say that there is room for more restaurants in the grill as well. When I say restaurants, standalone restaurants that are not necessarily attached to hotels. And I said this before, I think a Jamaican restaurant would do fine, but if you come with a different type of restaurant in the grill, you'll probably do exceptional, especially if it's good and you got the basics and the fundamentals down. You'll probably do very, very well here in the grill if you do another restaurant. And I have a restaurant here, and I wouldn't mind there being another restaurant that is, yeah, in competition, but that's also another option for me to go to. That's another option for me to recommend my guests to go to. That's another way of increasing the positivity of their experience as guests as well. So something to think about in terms of another club in the grill, if you will, another entertainment venue in the grill, if you will. Great point, Jack. I hope I answered your question that you have there. Gary Austin says, how has international influence in music, movies, fashion, etc. affected Jamaican culture? Oh, tremendously. I actually just did a video on that with Dwight from Jamaica Uncut, talking about that very same thing. And one of the questions was, is Jamaica becoming too Americanized? But that's kind of been it. That's kind of been it. Like American culture affects Jamaican culture like very, very directly, especially in terms of ambition. And I would think, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm talking about Black American culture. And that is kind of, in my mind, leading Black culture globally. And at least it has for a very long time. At least it has for a very long time. But I think now it's kind of being decentralized, if you will. Of course, reggae and Jamaican culture has affected Black culture globally and just culture in general globally. But the impact is disproportionate to that of the size of the island that we are, and that's where the saying comes, we're little but we talawa here. But when you look at the American market and why that is pushed out, because it's the biggest economy in the world, so of course that culture is going to be pushed out, and especially that Black culture and hip hop being as prominent as it has been the last few decades and continues to be so, that's going to be very influential globally. And that influence is definitely you see that influence here in Jamaica. And there's derivatives of it. We like Jamaicans, we take it and we make it our own for sure. But that base, you can see that it's coming from coming from America. And is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? It depends on how you look at it. It depends on what you think is worthy of being adapted into the culture here. But very, 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 very much so. But don't get me wrong, the culture here in Jamaica is extremely, extremely strong, especially from a what would I say, a social, like a socializing aspect. When you go out, you hear it. Reggae, the dance hall is still very strong, prominent. The dancing, of course, the food is incredible here. I always talk about the food, but that's kind of my anecdotal take on it. Thank you for the question, Gary. Metho Nelson, thank you for the donation. Much, much appreciated. Metho says, "Sup, man? Apparently, they're trying to make Manchester the new Negril. Thoughts? Are they? First, I'm hearing that, and I don't know how Manchester can be the new Negril without the 7 Mile Beach. Can you elaborate on that? I haven't heard this. I haven't heard this before. And if you have an article that you're referencing or anything like that, I would love to. I would love to read that. But hard for me to see Manchester becoming the new Negril. As from it being a beach town, from Negril being the capital of casual, the boat life, the water sport life, so many other things that I can name here. I'm just trying to understand from what aspect would Manchester be the new Negril, so to speak. Would like to hear more on that. Thanks for the comment. Sorry, just laughing at Justin D. If we tell him we watch your videos, do we get a discount? No, haven't got there yet. Man, but I would say, like, I appreciate, for those who are watching who stayed here, like, I honestly appreciate y'all so much for staying here. And there's so many people who have come up to me and says, I'm staying here because of your YouTube channel, or I came by to have a dinner or a drink because of your YouTube channel. Like, I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that to the max, and I can't thank you all enough for supporting my family's business and supporting me through my family's business. And it means a lot to me. And especially if you come and say hello and let me know, that's great, because I know the front desk tells me from time to time, like hey, one of your subscribers checked in, they wanted to say hi, kind of thing. So I'm always willing to say hi, and always and forever we will be just so gracious and grateful for you staying here, because you watch the channel. Thank you so much. Sorry, Justin, not at this time, no discounts, but maybe in the future we can do something. We will at some point. We will do something direct in that turn, whether it's a discount or something like that, some sort of giveaway. But it's something that I've been thinking about for some time. Let's scroll back up. I want to make sure I get all the comments. Smelly Jar says, last time I was in Negril, stayed at Fun Holiday, not the security guard there is trying to extort me. Oh, now the security guard there is trying to... Okay, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, Smelly Jars. Donna Bryce says, Montego Bay Animal Haven is amazing. Tammy and her volunteers and staff are animal angels. Please do the collaboration with her one day. Yeah, I definitely will. They are high on my radar. Thank you for that, Donna. I'm not gonna put Sammy Davis comment on here. Joan Barnhill says, stayed at Travelers, my first trip to Jamaica. Awesome. Thank you for staying with us. Synthwave Pro, great to see you, man. Always appreciate your presence here. Lincoln Kerr says, this scene of the beach seems very clean. Is this a reflection of the 7 Mile Beach? Yes, I would say this is a good representation of the 7 Mile Beach. The beach is, I would say, normally it's pretty clean. For the most part, I would say this is it. This is not, we didn't clean this up for you or for this live stream. This is usually how it is. I would say property owners do take a lot of pride in the beachfront and take it seriously. And we know that this is our bread and butter, so we do our best to take care of it in any way that we can Same with even in the ocean. You see a lot of people who go out there and pick up plastic. I do as well when I go free diving. If I see plastic bottles or plastic bags, I try and pick it up. But it's not like we have a ton, or at least I haven't seen a ton, but it is out there. Joan Hills, Barn Hill says Point Village is another great place to stay. I agree. Carmen Bennett says, Happy Sunday. You're doing a great job. Keep up the great work. Carmen Bennett from Canada. Thank you so much. It says, so my Josh says, snorkel boat returning from a trip. That's right. Those people are just chilling there. Smiley Josh says, is that Captain Black? That's Billy. But yeah, that's Billy. That's Billy's boat, the glass bottom boat there. I don't know if you know Billy. Donna says, Throp, never take that view for granted. I try not to. I really try not to. Metho, another $5. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, Metho Nelson. Alongside the new highway, there's a stretch of oceanfront land being slated for major development. That's unofficial, the word from the street. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I think I did hear about this, but I didn't take it as the the new Negril, so to speak, in terms of like that's what they were going for. But I did hear about that part of the road networking project overall vision that they have for Jamaica. And I say and I was talking about this on, I believe on Sunday, that the last Sunday, the more that we can interconnect the country in an easier, more efficient and effective way, the better that we're going to move around, but the more commerce that's going to move around the country as well. And that is when you're looking from like a institutional investment standpoint, this is a major sign of like, hey, maybe we should invest in this country. Maybe we should put some dollars here, because when money is able, and when I say money, I'm talking about commerce. When services are able to move quickly, when you're able to move product from, say, the port in Kingston to Negril, and instead of 5 hours, you're able to do it. And I don't know if this is going to be a thing, but you could do it in 2 hours. You can cut the time. Like, you're cutting down on the amount of time that you have to pay the drivers, you have the gas, the efficiency goes up, and like that's more money that's being saved, and that's more time that you have to have more commerce take place instead of wasting it on the road, so to speak. And there are just so many like intricate nuances of these investments that you can't even really predict, but it's such a positive thing for the country when I see things of this nature happening. And it continues to make me be very, very bullish on Project Jamaica and the direction that we're heading in. And it's just like, man, let's keep going, let's stay on the path. Like, we're not a country that's staying the same. We're not a country that's standing still. We're not a country that's sitting here and complaining and it's like, man, what are we going to do about this? When are we going to do this? Well, like things are happening and things are being done. Maybe not necessarily at the pace that we all would like it to be done, and maybe not necessarily at the pace that we want it to be, but things are moving forward. And when I hear about things like this and the road network and the moving forward, and you're seeing the construction, we're seeing the food and vegetable market downtown happening, we're talking about the upgrading of the craft market, that it has the money already earmarked for it. And to me, it's like these things are what is being pushed by the people in my mind, and we need to continue push and request and demand that these things happen, or else it's not going to happen and not going to move in the direction that we want it to. So just something to think about in respect to where the direction that we're going in. And to address your question directly, I think this is a great thing. It's not something in any way that I'm threatened by as a Negril property owner at all. If we're moving around and can get to Manchester quicker from one part of the island to that part of the island, all for it. I think it's a positive move in every single way. I just hope it happens sooner rather than later. Marie C., thank you for becoming a channel member. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate the support. So, and if any of you want to become a channel member or a part of my Patreon and support the channel on an ongoing basis, I would definitely appreciate it. We try to do these weekly live streams consistently every Sunday, and I'm trying to throw in a secondary one. I'm promising every other week at this point in time to do a midweek or end of the week live stream as well in studio, not here on the beach, and just trying to give as much maximizing on the value that I give on Jamaica and keeping everybody up to date what's happening, especially here in Negril on the ground. So if you want to support that in any way and do want to become a channel member, I think it's $5. Yeah, I think the lowest tier we have is $5 a month, and same thing on Patreon as well. So thank you, Marie, for becoming a channel member. Really, really appreciate it. Helps out a lot. All right, let's get back to the comments here. Jermaine Jackson says, I've been thinking of Point Village for an investment. Happy you bring it up. Would you recommend? Yeah, like I said, my brother bought a place, closed late last year. I should probably have him on here, come to think of it. I think he would be a great person to talk about his buying process and also the process of being a property owner of a beachfront property, selling on Airbnb. It's a 1-bedroom property, and I think he'd be more than happy to share his experience here. But I believe he's quite happy with his investment. He didn't do any refurbishing or anything like that. He left it the same and just kind of rolled with it, so to speak. But it's, as far as I know, he's doing pretty okay with it. Obviously, he hasn't made his money back because he just closed on it late last year. But I think it's a great investment. There is no place like it in Negril. Maybe even the country. And when you think about it, and I'm not trying to sell it or anything like that, but I'm just kind of bringing perspective. Other than there's Negril Beach Club that sells individual units. So Negril Beach Club is 2 properties over from Travelers, where we are right now, going north. And they have a beautiful beach, huge beach, one of the biggest beaches, I would say. They might have the biggest beach in Negril, come to think of it. Maybe Beachcomber might have a bigger beach. But definitely one of the larger beaches in Negril for sure, because the property is set back so far. But they sell individual units there as well. And so there is that, and then there's Point Village. Those are the only 2 beachfront apartment complexes. There is Little Bay. That's a man-made beach, and then that's off of the strip. So I'd put that in a little bit of a separate category, right? And those are houses, and that is north of the 7-mile strip and not on the white sand beach. So let's put Little Bay aside for right now. And it's a beautiful property, don't get me wrong, individual houses, but that's definitely in a different tier. But on this strip, on the 7-mile strip, there are only 2 apartment complexes on the beach. There are other apartment complexes on the Morass side across the road that are much smaller, and there are several of those. But sticking with the beach, comparing Point Village and the Negril Beach Club condos, both of them you can buy individual apartment units. I believe from studio apartments up to 3 bedrooms at Negril Beach Club condos. There are a very small number of 3-bedroom apartments at Point Village, but they are available. But mostly at Point Village, you're going from studio apartments up to 2 bedrooms for the most part. And the uniqueness of Point Village is that it's in its own cove. And there is, in order to get on the beach, you have to get past security, because if you look at where the island is, and I'm seeing these clouds starting to roll in, a little concerning, but if you look where the island is, right across from there, that's basically hedonism that you're, for the most part, that's the tip of the cove or the bay that we're in right now. And then you kind of go around, that's Point Village. So in order to get on that beach, you got to go past hedonism, which you won't get. I don't know if you'll get. I don't think it's a public beach, but like you have to be going to Point Village or coming from Point Village to get there. And then on the other side, going further north, on the other side of the property of Point Village, there is Royalton. So you're completely cut off. So my point is, it's a completely secure 14-acre property, and they have two beaches there. So the beach close to the across from the island, that is the nude beach that they have, and then they have their own little beach, which is also man-made. I believe, I'm almost certain it's a man-made beach, but it's still considered part of. I think it's considered part of the 7 Mile Strip, but it's still a very beautiful beach that's there, and it's its own property. They have a saltwater pool and a regular chlorine pool as well. It is a dated property though, and so is Negril Beach Club. This is no secret, no shade to any one of those properties. It is what it is at the end of the day. But the thing in considering buying or investing in those is that there is a lot of upside. And I was speaking to somebody who recently bought a property, bought an apartment at Negril Beach Club, and they realize that they have to put a lot of work into it. But that is just so much more upside when you invest in a property or you invest in an apartment there. You could make it what it is that you want it to do. Put all the modern fixtures and decor that you want into it, and elevate that value of that property or of that apartment. And the same goes for Point Village. But Point Village is definitely moving in a more positive direction than in previous years, and you kind of feel like it has a bit of a future, if you will, from an investment standpoint. Sorry to go on a long rant. I just know a lot about Point Village, especially since my brother bought there, and I just want to share that knowledge with you all. So let me move on. I've been kind of rambling on that. If you have any more questions on Point Village or anything like that, let me know. Yvette says, "Hello, Throp. Can you send me links and info as well for long-term stay?" Yeah, please, if you can just shoot me an email, because I'm not going to remember. To be real with you, send it to individual people, thropmedia.com. So if you can just send me an email, please, on requesting the information on long-term stays, and I would be more than happy to shoot that over to you. And that'll include travelers. I'll include my brother's apartment, and I'll also include my friend who has an apartment on Westland Mountain, and I'll have all the information, pictures, links, everything like that. Donna Bryce says, "Is there a good Jamaican restaurant in Negril?" Yes, there is Kenny's, which is different from Kenny's Italian Cafe, but it's near Grand Pineapple across the street. So there's Kenny's Chinese food, and he is legit, like straight from China, good Chinese food. I haven't been there in a while, but it's upstairs on the other side, on the Morass side of the road, and you can get Chinese food from there. And you can also get delivery from there as well if you want to order from him. So yes. All right, let's continue here. Enjoy my 2 week trips in Jamaica. Jamaica is still paradise. This is from Tube Princess Maria TV. Thanks for chiming in. And I'm glad you enjoy your 2 weeks here. Smiley Jar says, "I've never once heard a Jamaican use the N-word. If I have, it's a Jamaican friend that spent time in the US." Okay. Okay, that's going back to the influence of the American culture in Jamaica. Fair enough. Jason McBean says, "Bless up from ATL. Good to see you." North side, are there even beaches in Manchester? As far as I know, there is not. Smelly Jar says, Negril is unique, one of a kind. Fiona Smith says, "Grew up in Mandeville, not seeing how it could become the new Negril. Not even sure if there are any rivers." Justin says, I'm joking, bro. I know. Always appreciate your humor. Smelly Jar says, "Absolutely don't suggest fun holiday." Don't want to talk badly about another hotel, but that's your opinion. Opinion, Smelly Jars. I'll leave it there. Almost read that. Diane Brown. Hi, Throp. I was in the grill last week. Awesome as always. Thanks for your space here on YouTube and the information you bring. Looking forward to connect one day. Diane Brown, yes, would love that at some point in time. I'm glad you had a good time here in the grill. Awesome. And a pleasure doing what we do here, especially on Sundays. Tracy, thank you for the hearts. Captain Brown says, "Bless up, Throb. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you as well." Stenya RH says, "Simply gorgeous. It is a nice day indeed." Smelly Jar says Captain Billy is great. He took me out to Booby Cay Island. Yeah, I went there with him. That's the last time I went to Booby Cay Island was with Captain Billy. That was we were kind of in the middle of the pandemic, as a matter of fact. Stania R8 says Sunday vibes indeed. Justin D says, when I stayed at Travelers, I started my day by raking the beach early in the morning. It was a good workout. I didn't know that. Thank you. I'm sure Philip and the gardening team appreciated your help. Awesome. And we did. It's so funny. We do have guests that like help out with this stuff. It's so funny, especially like just returning guests. I mean, they're just so much part of the family. It's crazy. Like, even guests cleaning off the ropes where the buoys are, raking the beach, as Justin said. If we have construction work, they'll help out with that. Like, and they're on their vacation. They're on vacation. Method says, "Holy crap! I meant St. Thomas." Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense, Metho. So, I guess your mistake got me $5 more, so that's okay. Thank you. I appreciate the donation. Thank you so much, Metho. And like that is like the whole thing is they're trying to like literally circle the whole island with the road network, and they're trying to do that like the eastern part of the island. They're trying to turn it into the super high end, like the 1% of the 1% kind of tourists, and for St. Thomas and Portland. And they're trying to turn that's kind of the market that they're going for with that. And I again, not threatened by that at all. There is no other 7 Mile beach in Jamaica, and I've only been to St. Thomas once. Twice. That's not true. I've been there twice, and it's a very quiet parish and very, very beautiful, super, super green. And I think that's good. It would make me travel there more often. It would be a lot easier and faster to get to as well. And all my same previous points that I made about the interconnection of Jamaica still stand, even with it being St. Thomas going out there. So all like the more we can bring the country together and ease of use and ease of getting around, the better. So thank you for the clarification. Yeah, everybody was confused about the beach and the river and everything like that. So thank you for that. All right, let's get back up to the comments here. King Rasta TV says Negril looks like top level relaxation / beauty. It is indeed. That's perfectly described. I don't know if I could describe it any better. Junior Char says hi Throp. Hello, thanks for joining. Tisha Petite says, I found Travelers before this channel. However, it's very cool to find out more about the hotel through you, especially that it is Jamaican and family owned. Definitely more interested in staying there. Awesome. Good to know. Thank you for staying with us even before you knew about the channel. Junior Trust says, hi, Throp. I was the one who tagged you regarding the water in the grill on Instagram. Oh, yes, I remember that. So we can bring that up. Let's see if we can. Let me sign into Instagram here real quick. So we basically got more or less. We got 9,000 more people. I think it is 9,000 more people in the grill have access to water that didn't have it before. Sorry, I'm fumbling here trying to find this article. Junior, if you have it readily available, if you can kind of just stick it in the comments, I will bring it up so everybody can see. I'm just having a hard time finding our discussion that we had on Instagram. Sorry, don't want to hold up the chat here, but if you have that readily available, I'd be more than happy to share. But long story short, we have more water getting to more people, and we got a few million more gallons that we didn't have available here in Westmoreland, here in Negril. And we do have a bit of have had a bit of a water problem here, especially during non-rainy season. And so that's also something the government is working on, is a completely interconnected water system throughout the country. So if, say, Westmore, like futuristically speaking, the idea is that if Westmoreland is in drought, but St. Thomas or maybe St. James, they have an abundance of water, they can easily reroute that water to Westmoreland and vice versa. And so that's the interconnection of the water system NWC is working on, and I believe NWA is the is working on that as well, to make happen. So this is, again, to me, another great sign, and this is something that they've been working on. I want to say probably for, I'm just guessing off my memory, maybe at least 8 years from what I can remember, that they've been kind of working on this network throughout the country, and that's huge. Again, from an investment standpoint, if you can do it in a way where you can move water from one part of the island to another and help each other out very easily by, I'm sorry, I'm oversimplifying this, but like literally a few turns of a few buttons or maybe or a few pipes. Man, that's crazy. That's huge. That's huge, 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 huge for the country. So this is a move in that direction, and to me, another great sign of the forward movement and momentum that Jamaica is on right now, as far as the positive future that we are hopefully looking at. Sorry, I'm piling up with these comments, so I'm going to try to breeze through them. I don't like missing comments, so I'm just going to start going through them a little bit more quicker. Donna Bryce says, Throp, I think you said it in a previous live stream that the Nuxford Express drop-off in Negril is near Travelers. Is that correct? Nuxford Express is such a great service. Yes. So Nuxford Express is like, I want to say, is it maybe 400 meters away from Travelers? Like literally, like the first bend going north. It's kind of right there. You people walk to there from Travelers, and walk, like if they're coming here from another part of the country, they'll walk from Nuxford Express to Travelers very easily, very closely. So great point. Metho Nelson says, yeah, it's a stone throw away from the airport, and such that that area might become a priority for government spending. So yeah, you can take Nuxford Express from Montego Bay, St. International Airport, right here to almost to the doorstep of Travelers. Great service, like Donna says. Julia for Justice says, environmental question, take out food containers. Why is Jamaica not transitioned to a paper-made containers box like the plastic garbage has forever chemicals? No, that's not true. We have like all of our, and from what I know, all of the containers that I have seen from places here in Negril, they're all paper. They're all like cardboard. I was gonna say hard cardboard, but they're actually pretty soft. Even the ones that we have here, it's all paper here at Travelers. We've been doing that, I want to say, for a couple of years now. This is not something new. We've kind of got used to that at this point. Same thing with plastic bags. When you go to the supermarket, this is Negril. I don't know about other parts of the country, but you have to pay for your bag, and it's like a cloth bag. And some places do paper bags. I know the pharmacy does paper bags. Like, you're hard pressed to find anywhere you get a plastic bag. Maybe the guy on the street who's selling jerk chicken or this and that, but I can't speak to that. Maybe they do that as well. But these brick and mortar stores, like, none of them have plastic. None of the restaurants that I know here are doing styrofoam or plastic containers at all. We don't do that here either. Even our straws are paper straws here. Every hotel and restaurant that I've been to recently, all their straws are paper straws as well. So that's and that's not something new. That's something new. So I hope that kind of changes your mind on how you think of that, Julia. But thank you for the comment. Jermaine Jackson says, thanks much, Throp, for your you just completed the missing part of my investment thesis. Much appreciated. You're welcome. Been waiting for Chris in the comments here, but I guess he's not here. He asked a great question last Sunday, and he brought it up again Thursday on the live stream that I did, which we'll get to in a second. It has to do with investments. Omar Essen12 says, beautiful beach, going to make the land of my birth my permanent home in a couple of years. Awesome, awesome. Best of luck with you on that journey. And I don't know if you guys know, we are actually doing, I should be plugging this more. My dad's been telling me, but I haven't really been talking about it. But we're actually doing a conference for just that. If you are interested in moving to Jamaica, are investing here, we're doing a conference in November from November 10th to November 14th called Throp X. That's the website you can go to get more information. You can also sign up for an email newsletter as well, to kind of giving you updates on what's happening. And we're putting together a select group of panelists, subject matter expert panelists in real estate, investing, healthcare, education, all about Jamaica. And if you're somebody who's thinking about moving back and you're not sure, you're on the fence, or you're looking for more information to help you make the decision as to whether or not to move back, or where you're trying to figure out where in Jamaica you want to move to, this is definitely the conference I'd say to go to. To me, the way I look at it is it's a way of kind of dipping your toe into the further exploration of that journey that you may be on at this point. Maybe you're having some hesitations, and maybe you need a little guidance, and maybe you need to talk to people who have actually done that before, who have made the transition from England back to Jamaica, or from Canada to Jamaica, or from Midwest or Southern United States to Jamaica, and who are living, breathing examples of doing something that you want to do. They've already done it, and you can speak to them. And if you need to speak to a realtor or landowners, and try to understand the process of purchasing land, or you're trying to understand what is the process of buying an apartment at Point Village, what kind of professional services do I need, what kind of paperwork do I need, this is the conference that I would recommend that you go to, because we're going to have all those people in one room and be able to put together help you put together a comprehensive, strategic, tangible plan for you to walk away with, to try to make your dreams a reality of moving to Jamaica or investing in Jamaica. So that's taking place November 10th to November 14th. And I know many of you have signed up already. Somebody had sent me an email yesterday about booking the hotel, and it says we're fully booked. That's just a glitch that we have in the system. So right now, if you're looking to book a hotel room here at Travelers for the conference, we do have a block that is sectioned off. But unfortunately, right now, you're going to have to call in, and you just call in and tell them that you're booking through the conference, and we have a block sectioned off, and then you also get a discount as well. So we have special rates for conference attendees from the 10th to the 14th of November. And I'm actually going to extend, what I'm going to do is hopefully, if we have the room blocks, if we have it available, that I want to extend the discount to a day before and a day after, just in case there are people who want to stay a little bit longer or come in a little bit earlier. And we're going to extend that discount, but you have to call in or email in at this point. You can't book directly. We're hoping to solve it today, but it's a problem that's outside of our hands. It has to do with the booking engine that we're using, and we might not be able to get an answer until tomorrow, unfortunately. But I just want to make it clear, you can still book, you can call in, you can get the discount. We're not sold out with the rooms. I know a couple of people have already booked the room. If you didn't get the discount, I'm going to make sure you get the discount if you've booked your room already. So I'm going to go back through the inventory and see whoever booked. I want to make sure everybody who books here at Travelers gets that discount for the conference. But just a little bit of a plug about the Throp X conference. I think I did have another piece of information with that. While we're on this subject, and I'll give everybody a chance to kind of chime in on this. So as I go through the comments, somebody asked me about agro-commerce. Is there about like if we're going to have a section or panelists on at the conference talking about the commerce of agriculture here in Jamaica? And I wanted to know, is this something that you all are interested in? Would you want to have a panel or somebody who is a professional farmer to come in and to kind of give us understanding about the possibilities and opportunities of farming in Jamaica as it stands. If this is something that you're interested in, please let me know in the comments and we can have a little bit of discussion. I just kind of want to get a little bit of feedback. They're the first person to express interest in this, and if there are more people who are interested in farming in Jamaica and the business of farming in Jamaica, please let me know. I know of multiple people that I can get to come in to speak about this and speak to this directly. But let me know your thoughts on this, about whether you'd be interested in learning about farming in Jamaica and the business of farming in Jamaica. Just throw it in the comments, and I'll get to them eventually. I just want to clean up the rest, not clean up, but get through the rest of the comments that I have here that I'm backed up on a little bit. All right, where are we here? All right. Leon Robinson, have to reserve a room soon. Viewing from New York City. Hopefully you do that soon. Whenever you're thinking of coming down, Leon Robinson. So there's these ants on the microphone there. Just DJoy says, "What do you think about Richmond Estate? We are thinking to purchase there." Leon Robinson kind of took that out my words out my mouth. So with Richmond Estate, I've been there once. I had a friend stay there before. From what I hear, I don't hear much regrets about people who purchased there, and it seems like a good investment. If I was interested in that part of the country, perhaps that's one of the very first places I would actually consider investing and buying a house. But I've heard really good things from people who stayed there for Airbnb, and then also, I don't know any specific landowners, only like YouTubers that I know that own places there, but I haven't really spoken to them directly. But I hear good things about it. It seems like a good investment. It seems solid. If it's not the biggest, what would I say, real estate home gated community in Jamaica, it's got to be one of, for sure. So that's just my take on it. I don't know too much and haven't had much personal experience with that. At the same time, like Pearl Hibbert says, no place like Negril for the sunset. That's true. We have the best sunsets arguably in the world here. So you would be missing out on that if you move to Richmond Estate. Just my little take. Leon Robinson T, are there any gated communities in or near Negril? Yes, absolutely. So there is we were just talking about Point Village. So there's Point Village. There is Little Bay Country Club, which I also mentioned. There is Aqueducts, which is downtown, and there is Negril Estate. So those are what I would say the 4 gated communities of Negril. And as I stated before, Point Village is a bit of a dated one, but tremendous potential. Can't really go wrong with that. Little Bay Country Club is, and I'm assuming that you're considering for purchase, that is. So Little Bay Country Club is actually is sold out completely. Even the new phases that they have coming on is already sold out. And Aqueducts is downtown. It is available. They're definitely the most expensive. When I say expensive, in terms of what you get. It is new construction. It's downtown. Negril Escape, that's very different from the previous ones that I mentioned, because Negril Escape, you buy the land, build your house, where the other previous ones, everything is already pre-existing, that sort of thing. So those are the gated communities that are available here in Negril. But Negril is a very open market as it relates to development and doing small developments here. And there's a lot of room for that. A lot of room if you're interested in doing a small developmental project. And it doesn't have to be small, but I'm saying depending on where you are and what the type of investor you are, Negril is a very good place to come and do, say, a 10 to 20 unit development. You'd probably sell out pretty quickly. And you don't have to be on the beach. There's very not that much land available on the beach, and you're probably going to be paying, we talked about this on a podcast that I did on Wednesday, you're probably going to be paying close to $1.5 million US per acre in Negril, probably closer to 1.5 million US per acre on the beach, that is. So that's something to take in consideration if you are considering to do a development in Negril or on the beach. So hope that answers your question. Metro chiming in from Brooklyn, New York. Welcome. Smiley Jar says we're recently building a new gated community. Throp probably has updated on that. There is a new gated community, not in Negril, but if you know where Mango Hall is, Mango Walk. Is it Mango Walk? Mango Hall? I forget. Basically, the road going to, if you know where Jam West is, going down that road, there's a new development, like almost right as you go down that road called West Isle. I visited, haven't gone in. It's 27 units, new construction, 15 minutes from Negril, from downtown Negril, 15 minutes. And that's without driving fast, it's going the speed limit. But that's a new development that's near Negril, not in Negril. And I don't know. Let me see if I could bring that up. I could just kind of show it to you. Oh, boom. Found it right away. And I'm not promoting this. I'm just bringing some context here. Sorry, let me take down these banners. So this is West Isle Housing Development. This is, let me see. I'll play this video. I don't know if the sound is playing. I can't hear it. Can you hear the sound from the video? Let me know. But you kind of get an idea of what it looks like. And from what I understand, there is a lot of room for, trying to get full screen here. How do we do that? There we go. From what I hear, there's a lot of room for expansion of this development, and it seems like the landowner has a lot of room for expansion. So there's that. This looks very nice to me. Like I said, I haven't been inside, but I drove through the property and it's pretty quaint, but it looks fairly modern, new appliances. And I think this is a great addition to the Greater Negril area. It's another option if you don't necessarily need to be in Negril. You don't necessarily need to be on the beach, so to speak. And from a commuting standpoint, it's perfect. Like 15 minutes from Negril, if you have a business here, or if you work here, or even if you're just vacationing here. This is, to me, when you think about location, this to me, it hits it right on the money as far as where it's located. And again, I know it sounds like I'm selling it. Like I have no dog in this fight at all, other than I'm selling Jamaica and selling Negril. But I love seeing when you see new developments like this, and there are other options for people to consider. Of course, I'm gonna push it. I do know the developer and you know the owner. We actually never talked about this. Haven't seen or talked to him, but it's just one of those things that just putting it out there. If you're considering investing or considering looking, there's also, consider looking outside of Negril. There's also, and this podcast that I'm going to be putting out next week, I sat down with St. Alban. He is a realtor from Remax, and they're trying to have more of a footprint here in Negril, and he's been privy to another development that is happening outside of Negril. We didn't go into the details, and I can't even go into the details at all in terms of what it's going to be, how big it is, but it's outside of Negril on the northern part. So this is the southern part, really kind of going west at this point, West Isle, that is. And the one that St. Alban and myself sat down and spoke about, that's taking place. I hope the sound isn't playing and that you can actually hear me. I'm going to mute that just in case. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure if the sound was playing that whole time, and I was just kind of speaking over it. But I'll let the video finish playing, and we can hop back into the comments. Yeah, that's outside, obviously. This is kind of where I drove by. There we go. Okay, good. No sound. Great, great, great. So, were you able? I hope you were able to hear me. Were you able to hear me? Okay, cool. Um, so that's West Isle. Kind of can just scroll through the pictures here. Looks very nice to me. So it's in Old Hope Road in Little London. This is the makeup of the 2-bedroom, and it's starting at, there's a price, 203,000. The lot size is between 6,000 and 8,500 square feet. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-patio. That's a 2-bedroom. 3-bedroom option is sold out. Would have been nice to know the price. But that's pretty much the development right there. Very cool. And I guess this is the layout of the lots. Yeah, 27 units. Let's pull up the map so you can kind of see exactly where it is. Can we do this? Okay, no. All right, so you see exactly where it is. West Isle Homes and Negril is right there, downtown Negril. That's the roundabout right there. So you can see where we are, how close we are at this point. It doesn't tell you the miles, but you can visually get an idea. So I'll throw the website in the comments there. Make sure you tell them Throp sent you. I don't know what that's gonna do for you, or if it means anything. But just let them know I sent you. Okay. So if you're interested, again, another option, another great housing option for Negril or outside of Negril. All right, we'll take that down. Back to the beach. There you go. All right, let's get back up to the comments. Oh, I am backed up here. Okay, sorry about that. But thank you for that comment, Leon. You went down a real rabbit hole there. And Smelly Jars, yeah, thank you for that. Fiona Smith says cotton candy on the beach. Yeah, I guess that was a while ago, but yeah, cotton candy seller. Only Me MOK was in Jamaica a couple of days ago. Will stay or visit the hotel now. I know it's black and family owned. Absolutely. Be great to see you. Sandra Qualo says, hi, Throp. Greetings to you. Happy Sunday to all on the live. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping in. Justin D says, I can see the rain clouds coming behind you. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come too soon. This has been a good live. I can keep going. I got the energy today. Let's see here. We got Julie for Justice, plastic containers all over Portland in the ground. Oh no. We have that here too. Don't get me wrong, especially on the roadside, it's just terrible. Like you see it all the time. People just throwing their garbage and plastics out the window in cars. It's just really sad to see. Chandra Qualo says, hi, Throp. Oh, already read that. Sorry. But happy Sunday to you again, Sandra. Smelly Jar says, Burger King and Grills gives out paper straws. Good to know. Julia says, happy to hear Negril has more paper. Yep, pretty proud of that myself. Sandy Hamilton says Jamaica has been gone non-plastic for a couple of years now, but some persons order them online and sneak them in. Yeah, that's not cool. There should be, my opinion, there should be some penalty with that, especially if the whole country is doing that and we're forced to do that. Justin, thank you, my man. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. You deserve a lot of respect for promoting Jamaica and encouraging investment in Jamaica rather than just promoting yourself or business. If there was more people with your mentality, Jamaica will move forward at light speed. Thank you. Thank you so much for those kind words. And thank you again, Justin, for the donation. Really, really appreciate it. Appreciate it to the max. And again, thank you for the kind words. Just doing what I can, doing what I can. What drives me more than anything else is just knowing that like this place has so much potential. It's crazy. It's crazy, 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 crazy. But I'd like to think everybody here in this chat knows, understands, and sees that. And I think we all can one do something about it in terms of help progress and get to that potential, and then also it's like why not be a part of it, and we see, at least I see, a lot of the signs coming into play of where the country is going and what's happening, where Negril is going and what's happening. And to me, it's for us to take it and for us to take advantage of it. And if I can help facilitate that in any way and help you all achieve your dreams in any way, absolutely, I'm going to do that. So that at the end of the day is like really what's motivating me to do this and what's motivating me to push it more than anything else. So thanks again, Justin, for the donation. Really, really appreciate it. All right, let's get more comments here. Lucky Sarah, I think I'm saying it wrong, right? So I might be saying it wrong. Yes, there will be conference tickets available online. So the virtual tickets are going for $100. That gets you the whole weekend. So you're able to see everything that we're doing at a fraction of the cost. And there will also be an interactive component. So you won't necessarily just be there sitting watching your screen. You'll be able to comment, and hopefully, not hopefully, but we will be taking questions, but hopefully you'll be able to get your question answered. We're still trying to figure out the format of how we get questions, or how we decide what questions get asked during the forum, but there will be questions coming from those who have virtual tickets. And the only thing I haven't figured out is if there's a way, how do I get virtual ticket holders to come on the Negril tour with us? So still trying to work out the kinks with that. But we definitely, if there's a way to bring you along the tour, obviously it's not going to be anywhere near the same thing as coming here and being here physically. But at least if we can figure out a way that somehow you can be a part of it. The other idea that I came up with is maybe you won't be able to have access to it live, but we'll put together a professional video, because I'm hiring a separate video team to kind of take care of all that. So, and to document the entire weekend. But I was thinking if we did a separate video specifically for the virtual attendees that they can go back and watch at a later date, instead of struggling and trying to figure out how you can be live during the event, and give you a professional video put together on about the day, but you have it for your archives and you can kind of always return back to it, but it's professionally done, instead of like us struggling through figuring out later on, instead of struggling to figure out how to get you there live. And it might not even be the best quality visually and sound wise. So, we might be skipping out on that idea. But long story short, virtual tickets are available. You can actually purchase them now if you're unable to attend in person, and we'd love to have you there in person. I'd also like to say that I don't know if they're here in the chat, but somebody reached out to me to volunteer. They recently moved here in the West, and they want to volunteer for the program, and they don't want to do it virtually. And so I haven't responded to you yet, but the answer to that is like, yes, we are looking for volunteers for the weekend. If you're in the area and maybe the conference is a little bit too pricey for you, but you want to allocate some time and give back to the conference, and you want to do it that way, yes, we can definitely do that. And we're looking for ways to work that out, because we do need help, and really just we want to make it as professional as possible and seamless as possible for everybody coming. But if the price is a little bit outside of your budget, but you still want to be there physically and be part of the event and soak up everything the weekend has to offer, we are looking for volunteers, and that is also an option. So right now we're looking for 5 volunteers at most right now at this point in time, and your meals and everything is included. Accommodation is not included for volunteers, so I just want to make that clear. But if you're interested, you can shoot me an email at throp@propmedia.com. So I'll put that in there. All right. So thank you for the question, Lucky Sarah, if I'm saying that correctly. I'm not sure. And the comments are rolling. I am falling way behind. Okay. Julia for Justice. Shandy, I saw so much plastic containers all over Portland last March. I am happy to hear that this is not everywhere in Jamaica. Wanda Gill, let's switch back to the beach. Wanda Gallimore, Throp, do you have any speakers coming if you want to start a business in travel and tourism, the transportation industry? No, I don't have any speakers that are speaking specifically to that. I mean, we have speakers in tourism. We have hoteliers, restaurateurs that are going to be speaking about tourism for sure, but I don't have anybody that is dedicated to helping you start a business in tourism. But all of the people that I have speaking on tourism can definitely speak to starting a business. We're having people coming into starting business in general in Jamaica. So that kind of falls into the category. I don't necessarily have anybody specific in transportation. If this is, or maybe as an idea, I'll start putting out polls with some of these subjects matters. And well, obviously we want to hit on everything, but we might not be able to. But we want to hit on the most popular topics, and also keep in mind a very, very important part of how this conference is made up and put together is everybody who's a speaker will have been a podcast guest at some point in time, because to me it's so important that you already have a pre-established relationship, at least a parasocial relationship with the individuals who are coming. And to me, it's like bridging that gap before you come down here or before you buy your virtual ticket. It just kind of, what would I say, takes a lot of time out the way where we can focus more on the information that you want and get to the points, the nuts and bolts of value that you want to take out of the speaker or that you want to take out of the conference. And so that to me is one of the most important parts about this conference and the speakers who are going to be there. Like, we want the best of the best, which I believe we will be getting, but at the same time, we want to have you, the attendees, virtual or physical, be steps ahead before you come to the conference, and be able to ask your questions and get to the point so we can get past kind of the basics, if you will. And hopefully there's a little bit of trust built there that you can, in terms of their expertise and knowledge of what they have to offer. So that's just what I'm thinking. But let me know if there are more people interested in this, and I'm definitely going to start doing some polls as more people come up with different suggestions. But we kind of already have the basic makeup, and we don't have that much more wiggle room in terms of adding different type of panel discussions at this point. But if there is a subject, we're early enough, I should say, that if there is a subject that a large majority of people are interested in, at this point, we might be able to accommodate, I should say. Synthwave Pro might look into attending. Drop X would love to have you, man. Would love to meet you. Hopefully that is possible. Only me, I'm okay. Hi, Throp. Can you address the garbage issues on the island? I've traveled around Montego Bay on the back roads and downtown. A lot of garbage. Man, I don't know if I can address it in any substantial manner, other than it's an issue. Like it definitely is an issue. I don't know of any specified plans for that. I know the government has recognized it as an issue as well. And when this has come up, to me, the long-term plan with although we need a plan for the physical garbage, don't get me wrong, like we definitely need that, and there might be one in place. I'm just not aware. However, when I think of garbage being thrown out the taxi window, or if you're walking in the street, like instinctually, a lot of people just kind of just throw their bottles on the ground, which is like crazy to me. And it's like so hurtful and so painful to see. But that's kind of been the way I don't know, people have grown up, unfortunately. But to me, a big way to solve this is through education. And to me, that's a long-term plan about education, educating people, and especially young people specifically in school, about the importance of keeping a clean community and keeping a clean environment. But that's the best I can do right now in terms of speaking to any policy changes that would be coming or anything like that. Okay, so Wanda Gilmore says definitely agricultural planet panelist. Yes, interested in that. Thank you. Dale Clark says I'm interested in farming. Looking forward to moving back in a couple of years. Awesome. Rose, hi Throb. I didn't hear you mention about Zoom or for those of us attending in person. So who can't attend in person? Yep. I hope you heard my the virtual ticket component I just spoke about, Rose. Scope says, will conference be broadcast on your YouTube program for those who won't be able to attend? You got it. Yep, I just answered that, Scopes. So virtual tickets will be available. Rose says, yes, definitely interested in farming. Got it. Chris Charles, we will be at Throp X. Water my Medana tree. Got you, Chris. Got you, Chris. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you. Donna Reese says, greeting Throp. Yes, please have someone speak about farming and ecotourism. I hear you all loud and clear. Chelsea Clinton says Richmond is the largest gated community in the Caribbean, is also one of the best. There you go. Chris Charles says, happy to hear we will get a discount on my booked room. Yep, yeah, you were actually the person I was thinking of when I said that. So I'll make sure you get that, Chris. Jay Chill said, I would like to know more about St. Thomas direction for the future. Definitely we'll be talking about that more for sure. Happy Sunday, Sophia. Good to see you. Wanda Gellamore says, Aqueduct, very expensive, but beautiful. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there in price for sure. Smelly Jar says, what's the name of that one, Throp? I'm not sure what I was talking about, but I hope I addressed that at some point. All right. Veronica Tate says Runaway Bay is considered one of the top 10 places to live in Jamaica, and Richmond Estates is located there for those who aren't aware. Smiley Jar is heading out to Benta Falls. If you're talking about West Isle, no. I'm not sure. Like if that's where you're I'm sorry, there might have been a earlier comment that I missed I might be missing the context. Smelly Jars with that comment. Sorry. Globally, Wendy says we'll be coming with a group for Reggae Marathon and for International Reelers Conference Reunion. Looking forward to connecting. Awesome. Sorry, I got bit by mosquitoes here. I do have an article on not Wendy, on Reggae Marathon. And so that's the first weekend in December. We don't got to go to the article, but it's a big weekend for those who are runners, or maybe you're thinking about running. Maybe you're thinking about doing your first 10K or marathon. Regular Marathon is an awesome, awesome event that we have here in Negril. It's the first marathon that I ever ran and got me addicted to being a runner to this day. That was back in 2016. And Reggae Marathon is a really, really awesome, fun event that I would recommend anybody to come to, even if you wanted to come just to support a runner or a friend. And it's a very collaborative, open running event. And the article that I was going to bring up was talking about the Reggae Runners, which is a group of, I believe it might be was it an all women's group? But it's I believe it's a Black American women's group that comes in. It's 500 of them, 500 Reggae runners. They come every year. They have a ball, and like they're a real staple part of the event. And they do a lot of charity work as well, donating to schools, and they have a huge impact on the Negril community. Reggae Marathon in general does, and it's a very, very fun event. And if it's something that you might be considering doing a 10K, half marathon, or marathon, I definitely encourage you to do it. I will definitely be participating there. If you want to come cheer me along, I would also appreciate that as well. But that is the first Sunday in December, I should say. Thank you for that. Globally, Wendy. Leon Robinson, is Whitehall Estates an old scheme? It is. So if you, Dwight from Jamaica Uncut talked about this in the podcast that I released last Sunday, and the history on that. I won't get into that, but he talks about why it didn't go the way that it was supposed to go. But it is a bit of an old scheme for sure. Rachel A says, really looking forward to Throp X. I had to go through some crazy hoops to get out of work. I can't imagine the virtual experience could come near being close. Awesome, Rachel. That makes me so happy. So happy. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming, and thank you for attending. And looking forward to finally meeting you. I mean, you're so participatory and really helps the channel out a lot. I appreciate your support. I see Winfield is here. Hey, Winfield, do you want to talk about your apartment? I could bring you on if you want. I can send you the link. We can get some people to ask any questions that they have. If you're up for it, let me know. If you're up for answering some basic questions from the comment section about your apartment on Airbnb and also your process. Tia Jones says, "How about Diza from Dat Mistake TV for transportation piece?" So I'm inviting her. I didn't tell her about it, but I'm inviting a bunch of other YouTubers as well. I guess we won't keep it a surprise. We're gonna slowly start rolling out the people who have confirmed the speakers, but there are YouTubers who are coming, Jamaican YouTubers that are coming. Deezer and Outlaw, like definitely two people that I would like to come and be at the conference. Not promising that they will be, but they are people that I'm going to be reaching out. As a matter of fact, when I finish this live, I'm going to reach out to them and see if we can make it happen. But yes, great idea. They would be great to talk about transportation and starting a transportation business, being that they started it in conjunction with their YouTube channel. You are welcome. Only me, MOK. Chelsea Clinton says Jamaica has an anti-litter law, but is not being enforced. Yeah, unfortunately. Ray Grant from Canada, thanks for chiming in. Ketya B says, good afternoon, Throp and everyone. Looking forward to the conference. Is the tech conference you spoke on before a whole separate event or part of this one? Have a lovely day. Tech conference. Which one are we talking about here? Can you remind me? I'm not sure. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm not sure what you're referring to or what I was talking about at that point. Joe says Drax Hall in St. Anne seems to have a lot of development happening. I didn't know that. I got to get more. I got to get out of Negril, don't I? Inga Baby 51 says, Throp, please do an interview with Errol Stevens and his wife Swaggy. They live in Richmond Estate. So I definitely want to get them on the podcast. But then that whole thing with them and Jamaica with Irie, like they made it abundantly clear that they don't want to do collaborations with any other YouTubers. But I would love to speak with them. I would love to do an interview with them. But I remember like that whole thing that they made it clear, like, no, we don't want to do no collaborations. We don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to keep doing their thing, which I totally respect. But I would love to have them on. I think they would be great guests. They have a lot of value, I'm sure, but for those who watch their content, I find it not only entertaining, but it's also very informative as well. Great suggestion, Ingrid, but I don't know if they would even consider doing that. But maybe I'll ask anyway. Maybe they'll make an exception. Okay, I don't think that question was for me. Shandy Hamilton, Richmond is actually next to Priory and Landover, St. Anne, not Runaway Bay. Okay, let's get in some geographic lessons there. Okay, globally, Wendy corrected me. It's mixed. It's not women. It's not women only. Thank you for that. Globally, Wendy says, "I am. This is the Reggae Runners." I'm a member of Reggae Runners in 2019. Excellent group. Awesome, awesome. And Chelsea Clinton says, Throp, what is the situation with the land dispute with the government and squatters? Has it been resolved? I don't know. And I are you speaking specifically to the downtown? I'm assuming. I don't think it's solved. I don't think it's solved. I think it's something that's ongoing. Um, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where we are with that, and I don't want to speak out of turn. But I don't think it's resolved. I know for the fruit and vegetable market, obviously at this point, something has been worked out because, as the article said earlier that I read, they they are in some sort of relocation process agreement that's happening that is allowing the construction to move forward of the fruit and vegetable market downtown. So as for the other squatters in the area, I'm unsure. I'm unsure. Globally, Wendy says Reggae Runners is primarily Black American and Jamaican expats in the U.S., both men and women. We motivate each other to stay healthy, running all year. Great support and yearly reunion at Reggae Marathon. Awesome. Thank you for the clarification. Now I know. Ketia B says the tech and podcast conference are something you were talking about it earlier this year when you get a new studio. Oh, I'm assuming that that's Throp X I was talking about. I know at one point I was talking about doing a YouTube, like a strictly YouTuber conference. I think I might have actually talked to Jessica about that. Jessica from Switzerland, who we did the collaboration with. She thought it was a great idea. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before, but would that be? I mean, I guess that would be technically a tech conference, but maybe perhaps I was more referring to Throp X more than anything else. Sorry for the confusion, or if I'm not being clear on that. I would assume it was Throp X that I was talking about, but I know I had mentioned the consideration of doing a Jamaican YouTuber specific conference for meeting up with YouTubers, but also turning it into a learning conference for Jamaican YouTubers as well. Hope that helps. Shane McBean, realtor, how is the healthcare system for people who want to return to live? So that's actually one of the main subject matters that we're going to be talking about at the conference. And the way, what would I say? So I'm going to describe the healthcare system for my experience and from my perspective. So Jamaica probably, and I speak specifically with Negril is definitely not the best when it comes to emergency care and trauma. I'm talking about horrific, car accidents, especially. That's probably one thing that I've unfortunately have had the most experience with down here, and that's really, it's not the place where you want to take certain risks, especially Negril and especially Jamaica. And I remember back in the day, a doctor told me, this is during spring break, this is the 90s into the early 2000s. He's like, if you're going to die in Negril, it's going to be either on a jet ski or on a moped, because these kids used to drive jet skis, which is banned in Negril right now. They used to be drunk. They used to be jet ski accidents. And then they used to be on mopeds and drunk in flip-flops, no shirt, get into an accident. And you used to always have to deal with them. And so this is not the place I would say that you want to take those type of risks, because, it's, I mean, this is not the place where you're going to have, you're going to have a emergency life-saving surgery. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but how good is it going to be? How good is the care going to be? I'm not sure. On the opposite day-to-day side, I mean, I guess I've had trauma too, but not like a car accident. Like, so I've had to, I told this story before, like the last time I ever played basketball, not even down here, but just ever, like my brother elbowed me. I don't know if he's still in the comments here, but he gave me an elbow and like basically slit on this side, actually. He slit my eye open. and like, just bleeding like crazy. And I had to go to I had to get stitches, but I didn't go to the emergency room. And I feel like back home, if this happened to me in New York where I grew up, I would have to go to the emergency room, get stitched up, probably cost me thousands of dollars. Instead, I called a local doctor here, which went through Dr. Forrester, his office. They came to the hotel, stitched me up right on the spot, $100 US. Um, what else have I had? I've had so many injuries. So a lot of it related to sports and in sports and running. I've had like my most recent MRI I did on my left knee. This was I think I got it in November 2021. It cost me, the equivalent was 300 and something US dollars. That's what it cost me to get an MRI without insurance. I had insurance, but I was a new policy, and I was within the first 6 months of the new policy, so they didn't have any coverage. So I had to pay cash for it, which was 300 and something dollars for an MRI. And this machine is first world, first top of the class MRI machine, multi-million dollars, just the same exact information that I would get from an MRI in the United States or anywhere in the world, as a matter of fact. But because I did it here, I got it for a fraction of the price. And I looked into the median cost for an MRI in the United States. It's $5,000. So I always tell people, if you have an ailment and you want to get it checked out, but you don't want to do it in the United States, or you can't afford to do it, or maybe you don't have insurance there, it's going to cost you far less money to buy a ticket, have a hotel stay, come here for a week or weekend or whatever it is, get checked out, do your MRI, and fly back. Fraction of the cost. I had same knee. I had PRP shots done on my knee. My friend told me he needed to get PR, and I'm sorry if you've heard these stories already, but somebody asked me. But my friend had to get PRP shots on his knee in New York and Long Island. Opted not to do it because it was $1,500 and it was outside of his insurance. And I got it done here for, I don't think it was $100 US. Same exact thing, same exact procedure. I'm trying to think. I've had so many injuries. Seeing doctors and everything. Prescriptions. So I have glaucoma. So I have to get these. Oh, I got to get the name of them. So I have to take these eye drops every single day, twice a day. And if I don't take them, eventually I'll go blind. But this is a chronic disease that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. And I have to get these eye drops on a monthly basis. And I don't know, I should look up the cost, but it costs me, I think it's like 30 something dollars a month to pay for these eye drops that I have. And I'm sure it would be far more expensive in the United States. Are there? I speak to the U.S. Because I know healthcare is outrageous there. I had to get glasses, so I got prescription. So I wear contacts. And I had to go to do eye checks and all this stuff. Kind of like, I would look at this stuff, and like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful about anybody's profession, but these are kind of commodities, if you send, in a sense. Definitely the drugs, the prescription drugs, like they're commodities. Going to the eye doctor is a commodity in my mind. Going to a dentist is a commodity in my mind, in terms of like, it's the same thing here and in the United States. Like you're going to get similar level of service. Getting brain surgery, that's very different. You know what I'm saying? Very, very different. But I think these kind of day-to-day medical stuff, especially if you have a chronic illness that you have to take like the medication for, very easily available, especially like just diseases that we are genetically predisposed to having, like heart disease, hypertension. All those medications are readily available because they afflict the Jamaican population just as much as they do as the Black population in the United States. So those are readily available. So conclusion, I say day-to-day healthcare, there are a lot of advantages to here in Jamaica, it being here in Jamaica. And I find it much easier and maybe even more convenient here in Jamaica, like to see a doctor if like something is wrong, like some things, like little things, like, you know, I don't know if you consider stitches a little thing. That was like a little thing to me, and I got that done pretty easily. MRI, yeah, it's a little bit more bureaucratic. Like, you may be waiting at the office a little bit longer, but it's the same thing. You're saving thousands and thousands of dollars. My dad, lastly, I'll bring up my dad recently had hip surgery a few weeks ago, and he's recovering well. It's and I know a lot of people who had hip surgery by this doctor in Kingston, and they're all walking up and down fine, better than they were before they had the hip surgery. So that's also, I wouldn't necessarily call hip surgery a commodity service, but it's very commonplace for sure. It's not like it used to be, but it's a it is an invasive surgery, but it's an option that we weighed, that we thought, like, my dad could have gone up to the States to have it done, but he decided to have it here because it was a highly recommended surgeon. We knew people who had their hips replaced by this surgeon, and my dad wanted to recover in Jamaica, not in Florida, because that's where he would have had it done. So he wanted to recover here as opposed to in the United States. So long-winded answer, but I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of understanding about the healthcare here in Jamaica, at least from the perspective and experience of me. So thank you for your comment, Shay McBean, realtor. Donna Bryce says, please consider hitting the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the live. Yes, please hit the like button. Definitely helps out a lot. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you for that, Donna. Chris, you're. I've been calling your name this whole time. I was waiting for you to answer this question, so I put myself on the full screen. So Chris had this question. Hold on, let me see if we have any follow ups with the healthcare. We do have some follow up questions with healthcare. I will get to that in a little bit. But Chris, I do have an answer for you. So Chris asked the question in two previous live stream, and he asked me, "Is there capital gains tax in Jamaica?" And the answer to that is no. There is no capital gains tax in Jamaica, and that is pretty amazing. However, there is a 15% tax on dividends. But the idea is, and I think an interesting follow up is, I should have asked this question. If your dividends are reinvested, are you taxed on that 15%? Are you still taxed on the 15%? Because I know a lot of people who get dividends here, they just get a check every quarter, or however often that company pays dividends. But that'll be a follow-up question that I can ask the financial advisor that I asked. And this person that asked, she's a wealth manager, very knowledgeable in investing in Jamaica. We're actually going to be having her on the podcast next month. We've already been talking about it. We're going to try to close up. Excuse me. I got very bad allergies, by the way, people. But we're going to try to actually set a date this week as to when she's coming on the podcast. But super, super stoked to have her on. And she has been one of my dad's trusted advisors for investing here in Jamaica for, I would say, well over 10 years at this point. And so it's going to be very interesting, and I'm very excited to be having her on. But that's the person that I asked about this question. So that answers your question, Chris. There is no capital gains tax here in Jamaica, but there is a 15% tax on any dividends that you have. I'm glad we got that cleared up, and I'm glad I was able to answer your question, Chris. I got you on the view, man. I got you on the view. Chelsea Clinton asks, Throb, will you be taking part in Reggae Marathon? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be taking part. I'm going to run the full marathon. Global Wendy says, my team for Reggae Marathon this year is Team Smile Jamaica to raise money for Heart Foundation of Jamaica and book drive for Access Hall Primary School. They need books total approximating 80 students. Do you have a website there, Chelsea, that we can throw up here that people can get more information? And if they want to donate and support your efforts, we can do that. We can make that happen. Not Chelsea, Globally Wendy, excuse me. Yeah, Globally Wendy, if you have a website, please let me know. We can throw that up and kind of get the word out on that, especially if it has a running component to that. We want to support that. At least I do. Joe, random question. I think You are a SUNY Albany alumni. Were you part of the Caribbean Student Association? I am a SUNY Albany alumni. UA. No, I was not part of the Caribbean Student Association. I didn't do any. I didn't do any. I think I didn't do any clubs in college. I played sports. I played intramural sports, basketball and football. But no, wasn't there. I don't know if you know anybody there. I graduated in '06. Hold on, I need some power here for the computer. 1 second. All right, we got power. Excellent. Oh, that rain is coming. Let's see much longer we can go. Yeah, that's it. YouTube Tech Media Conference, all good. ThropX is going to be all that. Awesome. Okay, glad I was able to clear that up. Thank you for the question there. Shandy, Hamilton healthcare system in U.S. Health. I'm trying to see. Is this okay? Can you hear me? Okay. I sound weird now. Healthcare system in U.S. is not the best unless you can buy good insurance or a good job. It's not free. Agreed. Throp, I guess you got that care as you knew the doctors, right? No. Anybody could have that. We've had guests who have had issues and they come here $100 for a doctor's appointment. No, that's not any special special treatment or anything like that. You can call up. We've called doctors directly. We have a relationship with Dr. Foster and his team that's established through the business of travelers. They're the ones who did all of our COVID testing as well. But that is not something that is unique or special for me at all. Even if you live as a resident, most people here have these doctors' numbers on their cell phone. It's probably not super publicized or are known to visitors or maybe outside people that these services do exist in Negril. Thanks for the question, Chris. Shandy Hamilton says dental in Jamaica to me is better and cheaper even when you have insurance in the states. I agree. I need to get the answer to this question, but I haven't been to the dentist here in quite a while. I've been going to my childhood dentist in New York, but I don't think it's $100 to do a dental cleaning here. And you all know how much you pay for dental care in the United States. Again, unless you have an emergency, it's a great place to come to Jamaica, get your teeth clean if you don't have dental insurance at home. In the states, I know Canada and people in Europe are like, what are you guys talking about? But that's the way it is in the United States. It's very expensive for these ancillary healthcare products that should be included. Most people have to pay extra for eye care and have to pay extra for dental in the United States. And so it's just something to consider, I would say. If you're looking at moving, if you're looking at your healthcare expenses and you're looking at killing two birds with one stone, so to speak, you can come to Jamaica and have healthcare while you're here, get dental done, get your eye checked, and get your glasses here, et cetera, at a fraction of the cost that it would cost you in the United States. So something to think about. Kathy Hay says, Throp, watching from Baltimore. Awesome. Welcome. Is Travelers an all-inclusive resort? Negril and your channel, blessings. Love Negril and your channel, blessings. Travelers is not all-inclusive. We do have meal plans available, though, but we are traditionally an EP hotel. We definitely like to encourage our guests to experience other parts of Negril, other restaurants, other attractions. And to me and to us, our family, that's a very big and important part of the experience of Jamaica and of Negril is outside of our property. So that's just kind of our philosophy, so to speak. Sophia says, what about the locals who can't afford that kind of health service? You can then you if you can't afford, like, say, the doctor service, $100, then most people will go to then you'll just have to go to the office and you have to wait there, right? So in the sense then that is in that sense that is a privilege. But say Dr. Grant or Dr. Forster, like you, and then we also have the health clinic downtown. You can go there. I don't quote me, but I believe it's free to a certain extent. I believe it's free, or if it's super cheap. Same thing if you go to Salve Lamar Hospital, you can go there and you wait. That's the counter to that, is like if you can't afford the $100 for a doctor to come to your house. And I'm not saying they all charge $100. Their prices could be different, but that's just what I paid at that time. So you do have options as locals. You can go to Dr. Grant's office, you can go to Dr. Farser's office, and you can go there. You can set up an appointment just like you would in the United States, and you can get care that way. I also go to Dr. Um, oh man, guess I need to eat. I forget. Oh my gosh, it's my dad's doctor. Oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me. I like literally had like a brain freeze. Dr. Garwood in Sav Lamar. Sorry, I hope he doesn't see this. He's like, how could I forget his name? So Dr. Garwood, he he has healthcare available. He has a doctor's office in Sav Lamar. Literally, if you know Sav Lamar and you know where Juicy Patty is, his office is in the next plaza over. If you're looking at Juicy Patty, it's the plaza to the left. Same plaza as where Fontana is, to the left. If you're standing at Fontana, you can see his doctor's office. So I go there as well. That's where my dad goes to get his checkups and his appointments, is Dr. Garwood, and that's a local doctor. So you have options. It's not necessarily this other. And also keep in mind, you have people that have babies here. We have a lot of babies here in Jamaica, so they go to see these doctors and go to get their ultrasound. You can also go to Royal Hospital, which is a private hospital in Sav Lamar, and I don't remember the prices, but I could tell you it's probably, when we say private hospital and you get private care, it's a joke in terms of what you pay compared to a private hospital in the United States. So it's a fraction. Even like, don't get scared when I say private hospital is one. So was what I'm really saying here. And you do get a far better care and far better service than you would at Salve Lamar Hospital. It just is what it is. Not trying to dog or put down Salve Lamar Hospital in any way, but you're paying a little bit extra and you're paying a premium for better service at Royal Hospital. I haven't eaten, so this is why I'm having these brain fogs. So if Dr. Garwood, you see this and you see that I forgot your name, please don't hold it against me. Metho Nelson, thank you again for another donation. $2, man. Thank you so much for the donation. Metho Nelson says, is it possible to have LASIK surgery there? I don't know. Good question. I will try to follow up with that. My friend is actually he lives here. He's actually having LASIK surgery, but he's going to Orlando to have it done. I don't know if you can have that here. See, that kind of stuff, it's just, I guess, pick your poison in what you're doing. I would be scared. I'm scared of LASIK anyway, because I've heard horror stories in the United States about LASIK surgery. My dad has had it. He had it in the US and he's fine. But that is if that goes wrong, that's very different. That's going to change your life. So I'm scared of that. And I also think it's like risk and reward, right? I was just thinking, like, man, who am I going to sue if I go blind or something like that? That's kind of like my first thing. I was like, I'm not going to go through a 10-year, 15-year lawsuit in Jamaica if that happens. But that's just my thinking. Maybe I'm thinking pessimistically, but I don't know of LASIK surgery here, but I will try to put that down. I think Vanessa, I think if you're in the comments here in the audience, can you just write that down? Look into if the LASIK surgery is offered here in Jamaica, just so we can circle back to that. Thank you for the donation again, Metho Nelson. Much appreciated. Joe said, in the States, after hip surgery, you usually go for a physical therapy after. Are there any physical therapist services in Negril? Yes, there are. So my dad has a physical therapist, Oya. So she's a physical therapist from Turkey. And so she actually comes to the house, to my dad's house, and he has his physical therapy done 3 times a week at his house. So he's not going anywhere. Another to me, huge advantage of having the recovery here in Jamaica. More than likely, I mean, I'm sure you could have physical therapy done in your home if you were in Florida or something like that doing your recovery. But I think more of the norm is like you have to get up and go somewhere. But having that specialized service come to your home in Florida, that's probably going to cost you a lot of money. Where here, it's done at a fraction of the cost. She's very good. The improvement that my dad has seen, I've seen in my dad in the last 5-6 weeks, has been great. And she knows what she's doing. She's professional. She's internationally trained. I've used her before on when I've had knee and ankle ailments from running. And so that service is available. Another asset to Negril. There's actually another person that somebody told me about. I can't even speak to them because I haven't even talked to them or even used them, but somebody gave me the number of another physical therapist that does come to Negril weekly. Another dude that I went to, I forget his last name. Let me make sure I get it right. Chris. Man, I just had his name, but he's a physical therapist in Montego Bay. I can't even find his name. Sorry, his name is Dr. Kevin Christie. He's a physical therapist in Montego Bay. So I started to go to him after with my whole knee situation. This was before I got the PRP shots done, and I got the PRP shots done to help expedite the healing process of my knee. But young doctor, excellent. He's a sports physical therapist. He deals with a soccer team, he's the physical therapist for a soccer team. I think as a pro or semi-pro soccer team in Montego Bay. So he knows my injuries, and he's specified in sports injuries, and I was very confident in working to him. He has like the latest gadgets and methodologies of working my knee out and getting it better and healing it back, and highly recommend him if you're in the Montego Bay area. If you want his contact information, I just don't want to throw his stuff out there like this without his permission. But if you want information and you're looking for a physical therapist, definitely recommend him fully. And I can't recommend him enough. He's an amazing dude, really knows what he's doing, and really helped me get me up and running. Only Me MOK, thank you so much for the donation, $9.99. So appreciate it so much. So thank you all, everybody who's donated. Really goes a long way. Thank you so much. Dale Clark, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate you all so much for these donations. Thank you. Can't thank you enough. Can't thank you all enough. All right, let's see who else we got here. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Joe, about physical therapy and physical therapists. I think that if you're a PT, I think that's a great business to have here in Negril. You know, there's to set up a PT business, a physical therapy business, like proper brick and mortar. People come in, you have all your tools, your gadgets, everything like that. Do recovery, do cryotherapy, ice recovery, hot therapy, sauna therapy, red light therapy, like all these cutting edge ways of healing and getting you back. Oh my gosh, just like a recovery area, a recovery business, I think you would do phenomenal, especially if people would come from the United States or come from anywhere in the world and like this be their sanctuary of recovering and healing back and healing. I think you would do exceptional. I think that is an amazing business. Like have a spa component to it as well. Get your massages, get your sports massages, get your stretching done as well. Maybe even have a gym there. I think that would be a phenomenal business for Negril, and you would do exceptionally well. Just my take. So that's the last thing on that. Globally Wendy, thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. Thanks for promoting International Realtors Conference reunion and the book drive for Essex Hall Primary School. I will post about it. Thanks. Yes, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do a post on my community page and do a post here. And if you wanna come on sometime on the live here and talk and tell us a little bit more about it and the goals and what you're doing, let me know. I'd be more than happy to have you on. I can send you a link, and we can have you speak to the audience and take some more direct questions about what you're looking to achieve and everything like that. We can definitely talk more about that off camera, and if you're willing to come on the live and talk about it, I would love to have you on. And thank you again for the donation. All right, back to the questions here. Chris PW says, so cool. Must be an incentive to be in Jamaica. Do you have to be a JA citizen? I'm assuming you're talking about healthcare. Absolutely not. Nobody asked for my ID. I have a Jamaican passport. I didn't have to take that out. So you don't have to be a Jamaican citizen to take advantage of this. You have money. That's it. You're good to go. You're going to get the service just like anybody else would. Only me. I'm okay. Sherry McBean, wonderful question. Throp, thanks for the information on healthcare. Anyone speaking on this at the conference? Yes. So, not going to name any names, but we're going to be having a prominent person at the conference talking about healthcare, and it's going to be. I'm going to speak about general Jamaica, but it's going to be probably more in depth about Negril, because most of the people I'm having are going to be talking about like more the West. Trust me, we're having people coming from Kingston, but with healthcare, it's going to be people from doctors from Negril and dealing with the Negril area, just because that's where we're hosting the conference. So just keep that in mind, but you'll definitely get a greater sense and understanding of what the healthcare system is like here in Jamaica, and specifically here in the West. Natalie Holmes says, good afternoon. I'm late, but we'll listen in its entirety later. Awesome. Thank you for joining, Natalie. Only me, I'm okay. By the way, big up from Decatur, Georgia. Oh, good to have you all the way from the Peach State. I want to make sure I get that right. Chelsea Clinton Throp, Negril is growing rapidly, and I hope that the government will have the foresight to build an ultra-modern healthcare facility to better serve the people. I agree. Dr. Foster is in the middle of building a hospital here in Negril. I've had that up before on here, a drone shot of it. It's much further along than it was when that drone shot happened. I'm going to be getting Dr. Foster at some point, whether he knows it or not, to come on the podcast to talk about the hospital and where it's at and the services that he's going to offer. But it's literally almost right across the street from Travelers. Just if you walk out, you can pretty much see it. If you just look to the left of Travelers, you can see the hospital. So very close to Travelers. Carol Thomas, hi Throp, love your show as I love my Jamaica. Watching from Virginia Beach. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I most certainly will. Thank you for joining. Chris PW says, can you talk about the shipping hub being considered in Jamaica? Are you talking about the logistics hub? So we talked about this before. I'm assuming this is what you're talking about, logistics hub. Basically, it's going to be a game changer for Jamaica. And think about Singapore and what that has done for that island nation, and completely changed the economy and the trajectory of that country. And basically, we're looking to be the through point, if you will, where shipping comes through to go to the United States and other parts of the world. And they would stop here. Like, we have the biggest, I believe we have the deepest and biggest port in the Caribbean, if I'm not in Kingston, that is, if I'm not mistaken. They could take, I forget what they're called, but they're these mega ships that go through the Panama Canal. They actually had to expand the Panama Canal to accommodate these huge, much bigger cargo ships. And Jamaica is poised and is in position to be that of the Caribbean. It would basically change the life of every little, like, those. I mean, I might be dreaming here, but it's going to change the life of every little boy and girl in Jamaica. Like that, the GDP growth that would have on our country would be out of this world. And I believe it's Alfonso I don't know if he's in the chat, but he always talks about this, and he always talks about what that's going to do for the country. And we talk about that there are investors who are investing in Jamaica and lining themselves up for this to happen. And because what I would used to ask a few months ago is like, what is, and trying to figure out like what is driving the Jamaican economy. And from the information Alfonso has sent me and what I've been reading, that's a big part of it, is Jamaica becoming this international logistics hub. Huge. I honestly don't know the details of it, especially where it is in the timeline of its life and where it's going to go and when it's going to happen. But the idea that this is actually a possibility for our country, man, it could be crazy. It would be a game changer. There's no question about that. So thank you for the question, Chris. Only Me MOK says, Throp, if more companies in the hotel industry follow travelers' lead, more money would stay on the island and in the hands of locals. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for the kind words. We're trying to do what we can for sure. I didn't realize the camera was off, and I've been gesturing this whole time as I'm talking. Sorry about that. Anyway, all right. Andrea Reed Ramiki says, so true about the dentist. I check with my dentist in the U.S. and just to extract a crooked tooth, it's costing me $1,300. I would maybe pay the highest 20,000 Jamaican to get it a well done job. So 20,000 is it's $135. Wow, basically spending $1,000 way more than $1,000. What am I talking about? More than $1,000 more in the U.S. Man, that's crazy. Sorry to hear that, but yeah, that just kind of goes to show you have options as long as it's not something like if you, it is not something that is an emergency. You can come down and get this kind of thing done. Rowena Fletcher says Medicare, commercial, and even Obamacare insurance pays for home care therapy and nurse at home, I think. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. If you have that, it says Rowena says at home in the United States. If you do have those health insurance for yourself. Leon Robbins says medical services should be available to overseas clients. Any facilities in Negril? Yeah, medical services are available to anybody from any nation. And as I mentioned before, we have doctors available here for whatever ailments that you have. Again, Negril, Jamaica in general, probably not the best place for emergency trauma care. We do have it available, but I think it's pretty good for day-to-day, general practitioner sort of thing. And when you say facilities, are like I mentioned, my dad's hip surgery, so you can have that done here and you can recover here as well. Leon Robbins says Dominican Republic opening clinics for veterans. I see what you're saying. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't really speak to that in terms of like if you're getting like major, DR is also known for certain types of cosmetic surgery. So, and I don't know if they're accepting international or American insurance to do that. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. As far as I know, we don't have that type of industry. At least it's not well promoted. But even though it's not, I think it's something, even these basic things as we talk about dental and eye care, and as we talk about even hip surgery, yeah, you could have that stuff done here and recover here, that sort of thing, for sure. Again, it's not necessarily being promoted, but those are definitely options. Even if you don't have insurance, they are much more affordable than the United States, even if you do have insurance in many cases. Edwin says, bless up from Virginia. Have you considered a live feed from the conference? Yeah, I spoke about this earlier. So we're definitely going to do a live feed. And if we're going to do a virtual tickets for the conference, and it's going to be $100 for the entire weekend, you'll have access and you'll be able to be a part of the conference for the entire weekend's conference for $100. And we're going to have an interactive component as well. So if you do have questions or anything like that or comments, we will try to get to them if you're chiming in virtually. Joe says, I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. Hey, consider setting up shop here in Negril. Sophia says, I didn't know that there's a private hospital in South. Thank you for the information. You're welcome. No problem. Joe says, I work with children with developmental disabilities, physical and cognitive, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, autism. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Good stuff. That's amazing, amazing stuff. Globally, Wendy says, is the deepest port in Atlantic and can take the mega tanker, which is 5 ships in one. The ships can be broken down into ships to go to Canada, U.S., Caribbean, Central, and South America. Thank you for that. I didn't know the name of it. So the name of the ship. So it's called the mega tanker. Those are the biggest ships right now that they are in the world. And as Wendy says, they are 5 ships in one, which is crazy. And yeah, the deepest, not in the Caribbean, we have the deepest port in the Atlantic, according to Wendy there. So huge advantage for Jamaica. And like I said, Jamaica is well positioned to become this logistics hub of the Caribbean. I won't even say definitely the Caribbean, maybe the Western Hemisphere. A magnificent game changer for Jamaica. Kingsley Grant says, hi, Throp, I think he's trying to say. I like what the logistics hubs is proposed to do, and I don't see a willingness to work from the people, and that's island-wide. I don't see a willingness from the people. Yeah, you said Throp. Willingness from Jamaican people to work? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I know we're having a hard time finding finding workers. I don't know if this is the context in which your statement is formulated in, but I know it's right now it's been a huge challenge to find workers, and it's not just something that's unique to us here in Negril or travelers, but it's a nationwide problem. And I believe I stated last Sunday we talked about Jamaica hiring an outside consulting company to try and figure out how to circumvent this new real age challenge that we're having to get workers into the back into the tourism system. And it's not just unique to Jamaica. Like America is having the same problem we talked about before with the travel industry, trying to get people, they're understaffed, and trying to get people into the pipeline to become pilots, to become stewardess, to become counter clerks, to become put people in baggage claim, and all this stuff takes time to train and educate people. And so it's not just something that's happening here that is unique to Negril or unique to travelers in any way. Man, you hear that wind picking up, you already know that rain is coming. Probably only have a few more minutes here, but let's try to see if we can get through these comments. Cafe RJA, man, I still remember my lunch at your place on Friday. Really love it. Awesome. Thank you for having lunch with us. Thanks for swinging by. Globally, Wendy says, I led global trade delegations around the world, trade, development, and real estate. Awesome. Kingsley Grant chiming in from work. Awesome. Maya says, Throp, not to be rude, but please go and get something to eat. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Maya. I will. I am starving at this point. I wish I didn't need to eat. I wish I had like an IV and just kind of just put in all the nutrients I need so I can just keep streaming here. Yeah, gonna be wrapping up soon because especially the rain is definitely coming. Thank you for that, I appreciate the reminder. Chelsea Clinton, totally agree with you. Throp, the logistic hub will definitely be a game changer when it materializes. The factories corporation is making tremendous investment in anticipation of the hub. Kingsley Grant, I was recently in Jamaica and in Westmoreland. I see Negril has taken care of, and South Lamar has forgotten and being done to address. I don't know about Negril being taken care of. I think we're far from that, in my opinion. Are we in better shape than South? For sure. There's no argument there. But both can use some assistance. I'll say that. Oh, just heard some thunder. Okay, only me. I'm okay. Just visited the website for the conference. I'll be in Jamaica during the dates. Are there just tickets for the event? I'm not sure what you mean, but yeah, you can. If you have a hotel already, you don't have to stay at Travelers by any means. You can stay there, and if you wanted to pop in and out, we're considering doing day passes because some people just want to come for one day or the other. I haven't worked out those logistics or how much that would cost or how that would work. But for right now, we only have two packages available. We have the weekend package that gets you in every day, and then we have the virtual package, which gets you a virtual ticket for the entire weekend if you're unable to make it in person. HB says Jamaica was the stepping point when transporting enslaved black people to America, so it makes sense. Oh wow, going dark here, HB. But yeah, you're right. And why not reverse that, right? Why not turn it into a situation where Jamaica becomes benefits from that, a black nation benefits from that slave trade route, so to speak. Jay Chill, Throb, do you know if there are any services in Jamaica that provide incentives for U.S. veterans? Not that I know of. I will look into that. Vanessa, again, if you're in the comments, can you just please make a note of that about if there are any incentives for U.S. veterans in Jamaica? I'm unaware of anything like that. King says, true. It's worldwide problem like laying in, I think that's the Chinese flag. If I'm not mistaken, it's so tiny. Mosaic says, Throp, can't wait to see you in November. Awesome. Can't wait to see you as well. Looking forward to it. Obi Wendy says, yes, Hong Kong, Singapore of the Atlantic. This also destroyed a tremendous amount of reef. Oh, did it? Oh, sorry. I didn't know that. Excuse me. Chelsea Clinton says, we also have the 7th largest natural harbor in the world. Huge. That is huge. Only me. I'm okay. Day pass. Thanks. Okay. I will work out the day pass aspect of it. All right. I think we got it. We got everything. We got all the comments and we got everybody answered. Andrew, thanks for chiming in. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Thank you. All right. I think we're going to call it right there. The clouds are rolling in and it's starting to get cloudy, starting to get a little windy, and we don't want to do a mad rush to pack up all this equipment. So we're going to call it right there. Thank you all. King Naldo, what's up, man? Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for chiming in. We're going to call it right there. You see those clouds coming in. You already see the rain coming down in the distance. I'm not sure if you're picking that up on your TV, computer, phone screens, but the rain is definitely coming down on the north part of the beach, and we are going to skedaddle and get out of here before it starts coming down. We did just over 3 hours today. That's pretty cool. I don't know if we've ever gone that long, but it was an absolute pleasure hanging out with you all and answering your questions. Thank you, everybody who asked any questions or threw any comments in the comment section. I definitely appreciate it. It makes this much easier for me to do and interact with. And for those of you who I didn't answer your question or didn't know the answers to your question, I would try to come back and answer them on the next live that we do. I might do another live this midweek, but if not, we'll definitely be doing another one on Sunday. I'm going to try to do it again at this earlier time, 11:15, just because of the rain, because we know it's going to come down at some point in time. We kind of got lucky to be able to get the 3 hours in before the rain started today, but the earlier, the better chance that we have that we're not going to get rained out. So you can look to that for next Sunday. And if I have the time this week, I will definitely try to do a midweek live stream, but no promises. It really comes down to time. Only me, I'm okay. Thank you so much for the donation. Another donation by you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And trust me, it helps out a tremendous amount. Even $1, $2, whatever it is, it all adds up little bit by little bit. So you're welcome, Rachel. Big up to Throp. Thanks for sharing all the info. You're welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining. And I will see you on Sunday, the latest, if not before. You guys will get the notifications. If you don't have notifications on, you can turn them on just so you don't miss out when I do these live streams, or if I'm setting one up for later in the week. 3 hours. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for hanging out. And I will see you in a few days. Everybody have a great week. Bye.